Anyway, ni hao. Who the told there was me now? Um, one second, I can't see. I need to go put my glasses on. Sorry. Un momento, por favor. All right. Sorry about that. I literally ran from one place to the next. This is supposed to be a members only live, so there shouldn't be. Let me. How do I? Girl, how do I make this members only YouTube? Sorry. Look, I don't have to be like super profesh. I don't have to be super profesh. Um, because it's a members only live. Have y'all seen that Donald Trump got convicted? That is absolutely wild. This is like historic, and I feel like the I don't know, I just assumed there would be more people like going live and talking about it. And I know I should be like obviously this I know that this should be something that this should be right up my alley. And I should be super invested in it. Welcome everyone. Sorry. Welcome. I should be super invested. Um, there are some issues that I have. Um, I'm so sorry to everyone. Like, please don't think you have to become members, but this is supposed to be a members only live, and I don't know how to do it. So let me. Um, hey, quirky cutie, thank you for being a member. Sorry, I'm gonna make this members only. I don't know how to do that. All right, I'm in my behind my analytics content live. I should have done this before. Oh, here we go. Here we go. That didn't work. I am. Oh my. To everyone in here, I am so sorry. How do I restrict commenting? All right. The next afterwards, I'll make it members only. But for now, everyone is in here. We're fine. But like, we'll figure it out next time. I was lazy and tired, and I couldn't do it. And like, it looks like the melanin has drained from my face because my light is like really, really bright, and I haven't been in the sun. I hate when I'm not in the sun. Anyway, let's get into it. Donald Trump has been convicted in New York, and I think it was 34 felony count. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go through the case again because he's in trial all over the place, right? And I think this one had to do with falsifying business document. I think someone on my Discord sent me the charge, which was state level. So even if he ran for president and won, yeah, yeah, this is so wild. The reason, mind you, and I know a lot of people are up in arms. Sorry, that thought wasn't 34 counts. That thought wasn't complete, but I need to skip to this one quickly before I forget it. I know a lot of people are upset that you can be in trial, convicted, and also run for president. And I don't feel the same way about people being upset because I would not assume, as the founding fathers, that they would have. No, he can't pardon himself. He cannot. Those are state level crimes. He can go talk to the governor. But this is complicated. This is unprecedented. This was not contemplated when the Constitution was being thought out, right? Like, who would have thought we should put in here that if you are on trial for a felony, that you should run for president. I am thinking the framers were probably thinking, yeah, no, the American people are smarter than this. If someone is running for president, they are not going to be like, if I were the founding fathers, I would not have been contemplating that. I literally would not. I would not be thinking, should we put safeguards so that someone who is on trial and could be convicted for a crime so they can't run. I like this is a democracy, and the people are going to engage in voting to select their leaders. The last thing I'm thinking about as an intellectual putting together a constitution is to safeguard so that a person who is a felon, or not is a felon, apologies, but who is is fighting a case in court, can't be running for president. So whatever. Then there is the juxtaposition of some people cannot vote when they've been convicted. This, in and of itself, is a problem, right? I think after you have served your sentence, you should be able to vote. If you are counted in the population, you should be able to vote. If you're being punished for the crime you committed, you should be able to vote. That's just that on that. He's a felon now. He's a felon. No, no, no. I don't like late. Anyway, yeah. So, um, the fact that people who have served their time can't even vote in certain states, and that you can run for president while being convicted is absolutely diabolical. Um, However, I wouldn't just blame the system because of federalism, right? Because the reason you can't vote in certain state is because of those state specific rules. And it's not necessarily a kind of equivalency to it's not equivalent, and I wouldn't compare the ability of one to run for president versus one to vote, because of the local rules and regulations around voting being again localized, as opposed to the constitution not limiting who gets to run for president. So that's the first thing. That's kind of the sort of preliminary matter. A secondary matter having to do with the on how this has never happened. We have never had an ex-president being um, tried and convicted, and so and at a state level, the question is because his sentencing the last time I checked was supposed to be on July 11th. Now, if you're being sentenced on July 11th of this year, which is a month and a couple of days away, um, if you get prison time, if it's not quite clear. I know there are legal scholars right now on TV debating as to whether or not he would have to start serving time while they appeal, whether or not he will be allowed to be free while he is running for president, what this will do. Like, this is like pretty much everything from this point forward, they're making it up. I don't care what you say. Everything from this point on, they're making it up. They're not about to treat him like a regular citizen. That's not going to happen. He's running for president. Will he be shoved in prison while he is running for president? There be an exception for him to come out? Will he be in an orange suit to match his skin while he goes live to do the debates from prison, his jail cell with his jailmate? Will he even be put in prison? What will the what will Secret Service be doing? Will they also be in the prison? Will he have his own wing? Will he be at home? Will it be a kind of stay-at-home situation for his prison sentence? Like, what is this? Does this mean if he gets any kind of treatment, does it mean that law and punishment does not apply equally? Right? Because this is a perfect example of testing the law and the principles in the United States to see if it can apply to people with power and without power equally. And if this man gets to do whatever he wants while he is convicted, i.e., run for president, go to the debates, don't go to jail, stay out of prison even when he's been sentenced, like, what does that mean? And what does that say about our democracy and equal justice for all? And is this the start of chaos in America, in the breakdown of the system? Will, if Trump is thrown in prison, will people see that as some sort of flaw in the system, as it is a political attack? If he is not thrown in prison, will people see the U.S. and being in the U.S. as unequal as it is in applying the law and justice and fairness to people? I don't know. I really don't know, but I do think it is important. It has consequences, even for um, how we perceive the justice system beyond just race and thinking about class and power and access to. Because part of the founding principle of the United States and why we don't have a king is that law trumps kind of individuals, and that no one is above the law, and that this is, like, in my mind, a legal myth, but it's a myth that we tell ourselves, and that the system has to sort of continue to pretend exist. This is a great way to continue to pretend it exists, by throwing him in prison. Now, on the political front, where this is a political war, I don't see people making this argument, so I don't know if I look. It is what it is. What it is. On the political front, I don't think I would be a fear person. I don't think I would be a fear person if I didn't point out how weird this is from my perspective. Um, when you do something wrong, you should be tried in the court like everyone else. But does this bring up, like, Watergate for anyone else, and Nixon? Does that, like, come to mind for anyone else? Because, I mean, it was a federal crime. And so, where I think Ford, after Nixon, it was Ford, right? Please don't make me look that dumb on here. I'm pretty sure. Girl, if it wasn't Ford, I'm pretty sure, wasn't Ford the vice president, and didn't they, like, cut a deal? And when Ford became president, he then pardoned Nixon, like, preemptively. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And so there is a kind of distinction legally to make about federal crime versus state crime, and what Ford had the power to do at the time. So we didn't, because he was preemptively pardoned, in my mind, and no charges were brought. There could be a question about, sort of, maybe if he wasn't pardoned, then he would have faced justice in the way that Trump is. But I do see wiggle room there for a kind of for for a kind of political argumentation online about going after Trump versus going after other presidents who have committed heinous crimes. And Ford should have been, not Ford, but Nixon should have been tried. So I haven't seen that argument, and I hope I didn't just give I hope I didn't just create what. Wait, wait. I hope I did. You know what? Yeah, let's get into this wife school. Thankfully, the thumbnail does not indicate that we're going to be discussing anything about Trump. So, let's just kind of move on. Let's ignore I said anything. Let's step all the way back. The way you said tried and convicted is prior period. Look, I can't. I don't even know what that man is feeling right now. Probably not feeling anything from all the. Let me leave that alone. Thank you, positive vibes. All right, y'all ready to go to wife school? Cause absolutely not. I'm just going to move on. Y'all ignored that I said anything. I didn't say anything. I had nothing to say. Blah blah blah. Let's continue moving on. So, um, I wanted to hear about Trump. I might bring it up tomorrow because we're going to talk about homelessness and a bunch of other stuff tomorrow. Um, I think I need to plan what I say about Trump because there I'm of two very different minds right now, and I'm thinking about sort of legal and political consequence because this is going to set a new set of precedents for how we deal with public officials, I believe, at that level. And it has never happened before, so obviously this is new territory, and I'm interested in sort of the legal framework there. I'm interested in the political outcome and consequences. I am interested in the reaction both on a social media level and big news level. I'm interested in what attorneys have to say about it. And so in days past, I would have gotten a bunch of my attorney friends and we would have came on and discuss it. I don't know if I should. I might. Let me try to call Vanessa and see if she cares. Um, but I also realize that that kills the channel, and y'all don't care about that necessarily. But I think I might still do it, and then make the video and make it members only or whatever if people don't care. But I'm gonna ask Vanessa if she cares enough. Um, yeah. Mm. All right. I'm sorry. I probably should not have mentioned it at all. I probably should not have mentioned it at all. Because I realized something that I said that I don't want to hear Republicans yelling at the top of their lungs because I'm over it. All right. So y'all know this guy, Don. What's his name? Don Benjamin. He was on America's Next Top Model. He was also, girl. I was here. Make sense. A YouTuber, and some bodyguard for Diddy. Or they were talking about Diddy, but the bodyguard for what's it, Buster Rhymes, right? Um, included him in a conversation, and I went to Google him. I should not have went to Google him. I was like, who is Don Benjamin? But he was in America's Next Top Model. And the story about the bodyguard, Don Benjamin, and some attorney walking into a club and allegedly, this is not even talking about people's sexuality, but let's just say it's Busta Rhymes. Apparently, Busta Rhymes was like, I want you, and dragged them over into his section, and they were there all night. I don't know. Don't ask me anything about this. I heard this from someone else who heard this from someone else. None of that. So he was caught up in the like rap mess, and apparently he's now a rapper, producer, singer, dancer, actor, model, father, husband, and everything else, right? So that's not important. What is important is now he's with his girlfriend slash wife. And I watched a video of them, a bunch of videos of them actually, because he cheated on her. And she and he broke up and then they came back together and they are apparently really big on YouTube. I had no idea. And they have like this couples channel or whatever. But I found a video that I didn't find. And apparently, this lady is a relationship expert. Let me put her on the screen. This lady here is a relationship expert. And Benjamin and his wife, I think wife or girlfriend, are there to discuss how to forgive after cheating. And the title of this video is based on the first video I watched with them, where that lady sat up there. His wife sat up there, his wife slash girlfriend, because I don't really know. sat up there and said she might have manifested him cheating because she kept worrying about him cheating and he cheated. Um, I sense that they're deeply religious, and by they, I mean she is deeply religious. She really want to be with him, and so she about to forgive everything and do anything for this man. And so, is this what it means to have a husband? Is this what you have to do? And the church apparently is pressuring her and pressured her into being back with this man. And so I decided, instead of watching all the videos that I've already watched, because period, those were fun, I want to watch the expert talk to them and see what we can learn. What we can learn from for forgiving a cheating husband. So here we go. Let's watch it together. Discuss. I may or may not drop the link depending on how tired I get. Let's do it.
Today's episode, we have a very hot one in store for you. We're doing how to forgive after cheating, okay? And to join me in the G spot, that is guest spotlight, I have two of my favorite clients, one of my favorite couples in the world, Leanne V. She's an artist, content creator, entrepreneur, and fiance of Don Benjamin. And then I have Don Benjamin himself. He is an actor, executive producer, model, and best-selling author of My Truth. And he is fiance of Leanne V. Welcome to the show, you guys. I see you guys every week in our sessions.
So amazing to be here and to see you in person. Like, I'm so excited.
Yes, we are thriving, right? Because we've had to have so much social distancing with COVID and everything that I'm happy that, we're all healthy, living our best lives right now. And that I was able to bring you guys in for this very personal interview. You guys have been fully transparent with me. I want you guys now fully transparent with the world. You guys have been really good about always being your authentic self and telling your truth. But there's some deeper questions that we're going to dive into today that I think are really going to help people have a clear understanding of what it takes to heal and do the work of coming back from some challenges in a relationship, especially the ones that you guys are going to get into that you experienced. So to warm you up, like I always do on my Spicy Life podcast, you're going to share with us when you first fell in love with yourself. Leanne, you're going to go first, and then Dawn, you're going to go second.
So I feel that I've always loved myself, but to truly know when I first fell in love with myself, I believe it really happened when me and Dawn broke up, because it allowed me to really reflect and realize, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with my life to keep attracting this kind of energy or going through these situations, but I know that there's something that I'm lacking, that maybe throughout our relationship with me and Dawn, I ended up being so invested in me and Dawn, that I was losing myself. And sometimes you don't realize that until you finally part ways and then you're by yourself. Like, you know what? I wasn't truly happy with myself. I feel like certain things that me and Dawn's experiences brought out a side of me that I didn't feel that I was happy with. And really focusing on myself and understanding, okay, I need to make myself whole. I need to focus on my happiness, my peace, stop trying to please everyone in my family and my friends. And, just really starting to refocus and shift my mindset to understanding what I truly need and want.
Okay, so that was the first comment that I was going to have. I'm going to let her finish. But, it is wild to be the cheater sitting up there doing this. Shaking, almost like you are. This positioning, and I'm not a body language expert. I read one spy book called Lie to Me, and I actually do believe that I am an expert, but I am not. But him sitting there so confidently is wild to me. But I'm going to leave them be, because this is not I don't think this is an issue for me right now. Their position is just an issue. And I just want to hear, in a couple of videos, she admits that he went to her dad and told the dad about him cheating on her. And the dad said, yeah, I cheated on her mom too. And so the dad came to the daughter and pressured the daughter to get back with the man who cheated on her, because girl, everyone cheat. So that's how I I don't know if that's going to be brought up here, but if it's not brought up, I'm going to go back to the videos where it was brought up because ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, let's continue. Let's continue. It is a whole system of people that is telling her to stay after he cheated. Absolutely not.
And I think that's when I really found out like my true love for myself, because I did my homework. I was researching and trying to also separate myself from everyone's opinions. Like it was just so much going through this breakup, and I felt that I truly focused on self-love at that point. So I think that's when I could say I fell in love with myself.
That's beautiful. I think a lot of people can relate to falling in love or giving your heart to someone before you've fully fallen in love with yourself. And so the fact that you're doing it doesn't matter when, as long as you're doing it.
No, for sure. And my parents have always shown a really great example of love and loving yourself. But I felt like sometimes you have to experience things to realize, okay, you know what? I need.
Again, you notice I didn't say the word allegedly because she said it. She said, and he said, and they both co-signed that her dad cheated on her mom, but her parents were the perfect example of love, girl, period. I can tell he's a dusty hoodie. Go get At one point, by the way, the point at which these are from different videos. Hopefully they'll get into it. But if they don't, we don't even have to get to the other video. Whenever I say allegedly, you know I'm making it up or I'm supposing something from something else. When I don't say allegedly, they said it directly. She was taking care of him financially. And he felt bad. The reason he gave for cheating, and I didn't read the book, but the reason he gave for cheating is that at some point she started taking care of him financially and he didn't feel like a man, and so he went out there and cheated. Mind you, he cheated with a friend of his that they've had a long-term relationship with, where he was going back and forth with the friend on text and even told this girl that that's his friend and that they're just friend and that they work together. Meanwhile, she find texts of him setting up times to go sleep with her, and they're trying to make it out to be, oh, he only did this one time. Girl, he confessed to you after you caught him and he couldn't lie, but you sat up there thinking, oh, he only did it once. I'm not saying he's still doing it. I'm saying he's still doing it in my mind, right? In my mind, not in reality. He's been cheating, have cheated, will cheat, continue to cheat, all of that. But in her mind, he only did it once. I am not muted. I rebuke that. I am not muted. Let me check. Am I using the right mic? I should have did an audio check. Am I coming through? Do y'all want me to sing to see if it's coming through? She is a bleach blonde bad built. Period. All right, let's continue. I trust 2 L's. Oh, you're fine. I know you are responding to me asking the question about my audio, but I'm going to ignore that I asked the question about my audio and just assume you're telling me that I'm fine with a model sitting across from me on the screen.
Need to do better. And what is self-love?
Yeah.
You know, people think, oh, I love myself, but what is really loving yourself? So I really dug deep and understood the true meaning of just self-love.
Beautiful. Okay, this next spice breaker is for Don. You're going to tell us when you fell in love with yourself.
I mean, the funny thing is, I think when we split up as well, like I always loved myself. I always had confidence, but I didn't realize, like.
Sorry, body language. Does she look uncomfortable? Do they look like they're together to you? Because they don't look like they're together to me. I'm not saying that they're not together, but they look like they're still struggling through whatever they need to struggle through. Ain't no love here. I don't see no love. Why is it also that women can sit there and speak so well and articulate themselves and their feelings, and then men come up there like, sorry. I'm on one. I'm sorry.
The broken elements within myself until we broke up. And for me, there was different things that I was doing where I'd be mad at myself or regret. And once I started to fully work on myself when we split up, was when I was like feeling the true healing come to be and feeling these new powers within myself. And I was like, wow, I'm really in touch with who I want to be. Yeah. And
I am so sorry. All I hear is mush mouth. All I hear is, I don't know who came up with mush mouth. Whoever came up with mush mouth, thank you. Perfect example. This is what I'm hearing now. I'm sorry. And there is not a word. Let me just say this. If you are a cheater, there is a deep disdain that I have for you. And I am not sure how much of the disdain I have for the person who cheats that animates how I feel about him, right? And so, like, I think maybe I am being very biased against him. And I'm saying that upfront because I want you all to make your own judgment of him, and not use my commentary to make that judgment. Um, no, I heard Sin say it too. I thought she credited someone, but if she came up with it, then period. Um, and I was on her live today. I couldn't comment because I was watching it from the Discord, but I was on there. I don't know how much of my bias is shaping me. I don't know how much of my bias is shaping how I'm doing my commentary because everything annoys me about the way he talks, the way his hand is. His hand is almost around her, but not close enough to touch her. So it feels like they're like not really on the same page, but they're like, girl, we have this interview to do. Let's pretend to be together. All right. He definitely loves himself. Does he love her? Probably. And period. Welcome, V. Thank you. And welcome to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm really starting to fully love myself and accept myself and know that I put like a checklist together of all these things that I see in myself and who I want to be. And I was like, I could finally go down this checklist and confidently say like, I'm hitting all these boxes, So I guess our split up really like brought the best out of both of us.
Yay to the breakup.
Also, I don't believe him on that. When did you start loving yourself? She said during the breakup. He says during the breakup. This feels like mirroring. And this is how to win friends and influence people 101. It's where you listen to what they say, you take elements of what they said and put it into your story so that they feel more connected to you. And it seems that you are authentically kind of growing together as opposed to you tell your truth. So I don't believe nothing he got to say. Sorry. Again, I don't know how much of my bias is animating my response, but it is what it is. Someone said he was definitely hitting boxers. Block. Let me block you. You are blocked. I'm joking.
Sometimes it's necessary. I know. Sometimes it's necessary, right?
It hurts.
Sometimes it's necessary. I am going to deep.
No. It's not sometimes breakups and time apart is not. He cheated. Like, don't pretend like, oh my God, him cheating was necessary for her to grow and for him to grow. So that, yeah. No, he cheated. He cheated. Like, I'm not the way y'all are beautifying the moment that they've learned about and loved each other, loved themselves. No, he cheated, girl, and there was a breakup. That's not. I'm sure she could love him or whatever version of love she gives to men that she finds attractive. She could have done that if he didn't cheated. If he didn't cheat. Didn't cheat, not cheated.
Dive into some very touchy personal questions that, of course, things that you guys have revealed to me, but I'm going to let you give your testimony. Mm-hmm. But on this episode on, how to recover, how to heal, how to forgive after cheating, there's some takeaways that I want you guys to have.
And also, I don't lady here, I don't know you. I don't know how professional or good you are. You might actually be amazing. But for you to be sitting across from them with that body language that they have, and for you to not to cut it and ask them if they're okay, if they want to reschedule when they are on one page, when they feel better, is wild. I am not doing a podcast with a couple talking about love and forgiveness and coming back together with people sitting across from me looking like that. They seem like they've iced each other out. What do you mean? And maybe, look, it could just be purely optics and have no actual meaning. That's fine. But, like, for my podcast, absolutely not.
In advance. I want you as an audience, right? Because I always speak to my audience. I want you guys to have a clear understanding that what you see in front of you was not magic. It didn't happen overnight. It's not a facade of this perfect couple. They have had real challenges,
This girl does not want to be there. I don't know if it is she don't want to be talking to you, ma'am, or she don't want to be there with him, or she don't want to be on camera. If she feels sick, she's annoyed, she's tired. Something is off about her, and she don't want to be there. And the fact that y'all sitting up there pretending like we don't see, oh, what you see right here didn't happen overnight. Girl, it could have. The way they don't even look like they know each other. It could have happened this morning, if you ask. It could have happened a minute before they walked into the interview. They can be paid actress that are bad on Tubi, pretending to be in love. Girl, someone said he'd look distant. I don't care nothing about this man. He can look as distant as he wanted. He cheated.
traumatic experiences, real agony, and have had to pull themselves back up to this place of love. So the things that I want you guys to be aware of that you're listening to and paying attention to are these 4 steps while they're talking. I'm going to take them through a series of questions, but you guys are going to pay attention to these 4 things, okay? The remorse that you hear in their testimony, the rebuilding of trust that you hear them experience, the tackling deep-rooted issues, and forgiveness, okay? Those are the 4 things. So I'm going to repeat it again. Remorse, rebuilding trust, tackling deep-rooted issues, and forgiveness. If you can't do those 4 things, y'all don't need to be together.
He looks like he can't wait to this interview is over so he can cheat again. He looks like he's thinking about it still. Period. Not only that, like, she's telling us to listen, but we're looking, and girl, ain't nothing to see here. Ain't nothing to see here. Are they 2 attractive people? Sure. Should we be looking at them being attractive? Maybe. Are they in love? Absolutely not. Maybe they are, girl. From my vantage point, no.
I'm gonna just say this right now. I have witnessed them do it. They have done the work. So don't take this as a cheat sheet. Take this as, are me and my partner capable of doing these things? And is it worth it for us to try to make it work or come back together and rebuild this bond in this relationship? Okay. So have to preface it with that because people will think that we're condoning infidelity, and infidelity is never spicy. That is not what we are saying. You guys put in the time, the energy, the resources, the expertise, the work, the application. I've seen it.
Woo, this is what, and this is why it's wife school. This is what we're doing in wife school. I hope y'all have your pen and paper out. I hope y'all have your. I'm joking. Please know I'm joking. I love marriage. I love relationships. I love love. I love all kinds of love. All of that, and that. So this is why we're at wife school. So y'all can tackle cheating through God who strengthens you.
I've witnessed it. Now you guys are going to share the story. So we're going to start with you. Leanne, you're going to tell us why you guys originally fell for one another. What was it that you originally loved about Dawn and Dawn loved about you?
You know, the connection that me and Dawn share, we were friends for 3 years before. And I feel like this particular person in my life, we had so much in common. We shared the same beliefs. We had the same morals with family. And when you have that connection, it's so hard to explain what that is.
Delusional and lying. Delusional and lying. She said in one of her earlier videos that she came from a two-parent family home where there was a lot of love and she knew how to engage and what to expect from love. I'm not sure how she expects what from love when her dad was cheating on her mom, but that's neither here nor there. From her perspective, she middle class, love, care, joy, all of that. He came from a broken home where his dad wasn't there and they had to struggle and all of that. So to sit up here and say, oh, we had the same things, we fell in love because we were similar is ridiculous. Because again, part of why he cheated in their minds was he didn't know how to communicate. He didn't know how to show love. He didn't know how to show up. She understood a lot of these things already. They said these things. So for her to sit up there like, oh my God, we fell in love because we were so similar. Y'all were nothing alike. Y'all were not similar at all. Not even in the least bit. There's nothing similar about y'all. You have not articulated anything that was similar. Just say, he was attractive. I was attractive. We were attractive. We were talking bodies. So you got the perfect one, so put it on me. Like that's what was going on. Don't sit up here and play in my face. Oh my God, we liked reading, girl. No, absolutely not.
It's more of a feeling, and just also as a woman, you know, you want someone that is going to also be your other half. And Dawn, I feel like when we're together, it just seemed right. I felt like we connected, everything was running smoothly and it didn't feel forced. And again, we were friends for 3 years before, so it just felt perfect, you know. And I just feel like I fell in love with his heart when,
mind you, in her video when she was crying, she said when they met, she should have known because he was a playboy. He was he was a playboy. He would be out all night. He had a bunch of girls. There was a bunch of groupies. He was sleeping with models. She was fearful. She woke up at night in fear that he would be cheating on her. But oh, it fits so well, girls. No. I'm not reading that. Mocha, you've been a member for 14 months. Thank you. I want her to stop asking her the question first, giving him too much time to think and mirror her. And thank you. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting too. He would be stuck if he had to go first. I want him to go first too. I agree.
you know, his relationship with his mom and how his you know, outlook on life. I was just very intrigued with just everything about him. He just seemed like such an amazing person, and I was interested. Like, you know, I would love to see where this goes. And you know, it just pretty much started as a friendship. And I think that's the most important part for me, is if I can connect with you on a friendship level, like, that's forever. I feel like a friendship is so important.
Don, why did you fall in love with Leanne? What was it about her, other than the fact that she is gorgeous?
I mean, besides the gorgeousness and the beauty,
In his eyes.
I think just I seen her in church long before we even became friends, so I already knew she like believed in God and she was a woman of faith. And then like her innocentness, she was innocent. Like,
Get all the way out of my face. Not her innocentness. A period. A period. I saw her in church, her innocent, so I dated her and cheated on her. Got it. Let's continue.
she didn't drink. She wasn't worried about being out in the clubs. Like, she was all about family and friends.
She wasn't worried about when they first met. She was in the church. She wasn't worried about being in the club, but he was out in the club. He was fully out in the club. Again, I don't know if they say this, but in multiple video, I'm not saying allegedly, she said that he was out in the club. He was partying. He was performing. He was doing all of this stuff, and he was a playboy. That's her words. But he saw her and was like, yeah, not, the innocentness. We need to brand that. The innocentness of her is what attracted. She was in church and she wasn't about the club life that he was into. So he wanted someone completely opposite from him. He liked her because she was completely opposite from him. She liked him because she believed that they were similar. In truth, I can see how she would think they were similar because he has this tendency throughout this interview of mirroring her. He does. He does. The thing is, I don't believe her because, girl, you were the one who told us who he was in the beginning. If you watch a bunch of her videos, she will tell you that he was out clubbing. They had different values. They cared about family different. That he was out there dipping it and doing it, and she was a nice church girl. So I don't know what she's talking about now here, talking about their values were aligned, girl, period. You're going to revise that history. Revise that history.
And I feel like it's really hard to find that, especially in LA, but I feel like it's hard to find that in general. Like someone that doesn't want to be out here in these streets, she hasn't been, all around town and
he means ran through.
She has not been ran through.
Life, we can say it.
And so for me, it was just a lot of these things where I was like, she's just a really good girl, good heart. She always puts people above herself and her feelings, and I was just like, whenever I would be out of town or work.
Okay, girl. I've heard enough. I haven't. I'm going to continue. You saw him. You thought he was attractive, and then you wanted to be with him. It's fine. Like it's fine. It's fine because there's nothing. It's fine. It's fine. We get it. He was on America's Next Top Model. We get it. Because no, we don't believe you. We don't believe you.
Working, I would always be thinking about Leanne. I would always be wondering what she's doing, and we'd always end up reconnecting some way, somehow. And like she said, it was just natural. Like our friendship was natural, and the connection was natural. I felt like it was easy flowing.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Everybody wants that, right? Mm-hmm. I love that you pointed out that you saw purity within her. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to shift this a little bit. There was not so many things that were pure about you, though. You were going through.
These women, you know what I do like about passive aggressive people? I do like whenever you pull one over on them and they're not going to overtly go against you, they're going to get their lick back. They're going to get their, they're going to get, they're going to get their lick back. Period.
Through some things. Leanne, you're going to share with us a little bit about Don's lack of purity, why you called up the engagement. Like, we want the details. We want to know. You don't have to give us the long-winded story because I could go into labor any day. But give us the abbreviated version of what happened, because we got to see a public engagement. You guys are extreme influencers, and people were well aware of your guys' love and relationship. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we were like, what happened to Don and Leanne? Right. What happened?
So do you want me to talk about what happened? Like the details of everything, pretty much? The juicy details?
Like every single snippet,
of why we called it off.
Yeah, give me the outline of why you called off the engagement.
So to be really honest, through our relationship, from the beginning, like, of course, when I met Don, we did have this amazing connection and everything about him was just amazing. But then, of course, he's coming from a lifestyle of going to the clubs. He was performing. He's an artist. He's performing at these clubs, drinking. And I knew, of course, like, okay, this is how I know I didn't love myself the way I love myself now, because I would never have tolerated a lot of things that I did.
But y'all were perfect. Y'all were in line. Y'all clicked. Y'all had same values. But if you had loved yourself then the way you love yourself now, y'all wouldn't be together. So were y'all clicking? Were y'all on one page at that time? I'm going to go ahead and say you're lying right now too. So like, I don't believe you about the self-love thing. I am sorry. I know that is wrong. If you said it, I should believe it, but I don't. Notice the men from two-parent homes have fathers who cheat, and the ones from single mom homes know one thing for sure: that men in relationships must cheat. You play entirely too much career than ease. How are you not in the Discord?
You know, we love that challenge. Like as women, we're like, ooh, he looks like a problem. Let me fix it. Like, and I've just learned so.
So you saw him, he looked like a problem, and y'all gonna fix, you wanted to fix him. But initially you fell in love with him, and you, when you just met, you met him and y'all were similar. Y'all came from the same background, y'all had the same values, but he was out clubbing from a broken home that you wanted to fix. Something not adding up. Because it's not even like, oh, that's when I fell in love with him, when we had similar values. No, he said I cared about him, loved him because of how similar we were, and we became friends. So no, I don't believe you. And I don't think she's lying. I think she's revising her feelings, and she's not going to own. And I don't think it's right to just say, oh, I saw him, he was attractive, and so I wanted him, right? Because then you open yourself to be like, well, if that's what you wanted, you got what you want, so now he's cheating, you should have thought about who he was, right? You should have. But I don't think you're going to say that. But I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know if it's true. Good luck to y'all both. Let's continue.
So much like I can change him.
Hot boy.
And no, let me tell you, you don't want to do that, because sometimes as women, we like the challenge, we like the chase, but it is not the smartest thing, because you will end up heartbroken. Because when you're invested in someone that is not whole, and I know that I wasn't completely whole at the time either, that's how I was attracting that. When I wasn't whole, I wasn't attracting other people that weren't whole.
I hate this. Why do women sit around talking about what they attract and what they... No, it's what you accept and don't accept. It's not what you attract. If you're there with the man, let's say you did attract, you can decide not to engage with the person. Let's say your aura, your vortex pulled to you a person like him, right? And he comes with the partying and the mess. You can literally remove him from your life. You can literally remove him from your life. You said you wanted to fix him. You said that. It's not no law of attraction, pulled him into your vortex. It's none of that. You made a decision, you stuck to it. And then don't blame yourself for this man cheating on you. Ain't nobody got time for that. And he just soaking it up to like, oh, law of attraction. Yeah, she gonna blame herself for me cheating on her. Yeah, the law of attraction girl is got... Law of attraction have y'all in a chokehold. This law of attraction girl is sitting up here talking about, I attracted this man into my life and I attracted him cheating. Go in. No.
And looking back at that person, like, oh my God, I've experienced so much, but I've learned so much along the way, which I am very grateful for. But knowing that I was getting into a situation with Don, I knew it was going to be a challenge. And I knew that there were things that, of course, as women, we have these little insecurities like, okay, is he going to be faithful? Is he going to break my trust? And can I really trust him when he's traveling and performing and being around these beautiful women? He's also a model. He's other beautiful models. All these things can come into play. But at the same time, I'm a very confident woman. But a lot of it doesn't happen because of me. I could be amazing, but I'll never be good enough for a man that's not ready. So I knew that at that point when Don was doing his thing, and I think also I've seen a shift because me and him have been together for over almost 5-6 years now. But through the years, there has been things that had happened in his life. He lost his dad, he lost his dog, and things were shifting. His career was up and down, and just seeing Don grow as a young man to becoming a mature man, like I've seen the growth. And also it's scary because I'm growing too, and trying to understand, okay, like, do I see him as my husband? I can see us getting married, but then we're going through all these tests and challenges, and
Girl, you weren't going through no test. There was no test. That man was cheating on you. His mom, his family died, dog died, food, money died, career died. all of that died. Why did he cheat? The fact that you're sitting up here, because ultimately what she's doing is justifying his bad behavior, i.e., his cheating. That's cute. Justify what you want. Who testing you, girl? Who testing you? God, the devil? Who testing you? Your man is cheating on you. Who is testing you? The spirit of cheating. Yeah, oh my God. I am religious, mind you. I am Christian. And I'm not about to sit here and listen to anyone telling me that the devil, the spirit. We were watching something in the Discord, and this guy was like, the homosexual spirit had me in a chokehold. I was out there sleeping with people, taking drugs, blah blah blah. I was like, no, it sounds like you were just trying to be degenerate. Like you wanted to do those things. You wanted to do those things, and you are looking for someone to blame. She must have went to the Naya Jai. Woo! Y'all, I was crying. Gia, absolutely not. Let me block you too now. Blocked. Ain't nobody got time for you to be doing this. You play, and you play, you play. Not the helmet of salvation, girl. 3 payments of 500, 499. Oh my God, I was legit crying. Just because someone is difficult to attain doesn't mean it's valuable. Period. She was the candidate for the shut up ring and the breadwinner peep game. Yeah, because she became the breadwinner quick, fast, and in a hurry. There's a part of me that like hopes that he's now faithful and hopes that he loves her now and hopes that he will care for her, and I hope that this is true love and all of that. But that my analytical mind refuses. My analytical mind refuses. Absolutely not. These men talk about how they want a fit, feminine, and friendly non-run through, non-black or partially black woman and get one and then cheat on her. I'm I'm confusion. Girl, me too. Me too. Me too. Look, he has not told the race of his mom or the race of his dad. I didn't Google it. But in my mind, I I'ma Google it. Let me Google it. What's his name? Don Benjamin's father. Don Benjamin, American model. Wait, how do they not have his father? Wait, there's no picture. All right, well, found him. So yeah, got it. She has gone to bed singing "You Won't Break My Soul" many nights. Now you are. Period. Period. Is he cheats because the sky is blue? Stop. Preference babble. You stop. Please stop.
Oh, I had an insecurity, and I'm still going through this healing, but I always like was afraid, like, okay, is he really the one? How can I really know? What will allow me to feel at peace knowing that he can be the one for me? And then when he proposed to me, there were already insecurities there because of like the lifestyle he was living. I don't think that he had really shifted his life yet. I feel that he's done the whole, I'm committed to you, I'm not sleeping with anyone else, this is you and me. But at the same time, he didn't change his lifestyle. He was still going to the clubs with his boys. He was still entertaining girls that were just his friends, supposedly. Like whatever it was, it just did not change. It's been the same. And it took a real breakup like this for him to grow. But when he proposed to me, I'm like, okay, I guess this is it. Like, it's normal to feel a little unsure. I talked to some of my friends that were proposed to. They said, you get these feelings sometimes and it's completely normal. And I'm like, I do. Like, I don't see myself with anyone else. And I love you. And I feel that this can work. We can really.
Someone put Carrie upon Eat on timeout, please, because I'm not reading that. I'm not reading. What is she healing except his homelessness? Girl, she talking like she had to go through growth and healing and stuff. I'm like, girl, he cheated. I want to know fully what she thought she had to grow from. So I'm listening.
Really be happy together, but then I still have these insecurities. And then of course, us women, our intuition is so strong. So when you feel something, it's hard to like even push it aside, because even if you talk to your significant other and ask them, they're so defensive, like, I'm not doing nothing, all this, and then you don't want to look like an insecure girlfriend. All these things can happen, but you need the proof, or you need some kind of explanation to have this conversation. And then, I felt this intuition in my stomach. I want to go through his Apple Watch. So I went through his Apple Watch because it was connected to his phone. He happened to leave town, and I read some messages. This was more of like a not physical cheat. This was a planning cheat. But I don't care what kind of planning or physical, it's cheat no matter what. Right. If you're planning or entertaining somebody, it's cheat.
They're lying. Again. She is covering for him. She want to sit up here. She's sitting up here talking about it wasn't a physical. Girl, you're lying. He physically cheated on you. If you didn't know, let me tell you now. I think he physically cheated. What do you mean you saw him play? This man is flying all over the world, going to clubs with girls, all of that. And you saw one text with one person consistently where they were planning to cheat. And you think, oh, he didn't physically cheat, but he cheated. He cheated, but not like physically. Is that what he told you? Is that what? When he said he loved her innocence, I think I know what he meant now. Because if you really sat there and believed this man was on his phone planning to cheat but never did it, the thing is, he don't have to cheat. If you see someone planning to cheat and you caught them. They didn't come to you and say, like randomly, come to you and say, hey, I almost cheated on you and I am sorry. Or I cheated on you and I'm sorry. If you found that one, just imagine there were 10, 50 more others. Like, what do you mean? If I get you cheating, you have been cheating with a lot of other people. If you did not, sua sponte, confess to cheating without me knowing or bringing up anything, I'm just going to assume you've been cheating. Like, what do you mean? Oh, they were just planning, nothing happened. That's the one you caught. He realized you didn't really see anything and confessed to that one. Even if it's not true. All right, girl. All right. You look like a no lies. These are two very attractive people. Two very attractive people. He's a good man, Themis. He's just in a bad situation. No, he's not in a bad situation. They're being tested. This is the devil testing them. And so they have to stick together to fight off the devil and the demon that's causing him to cheat. So it is not her against him. He is not cheating. They have to come together, her and him, to fend off demonic force that is causing him to cheat. The church have y'all in a chokehold. Ah, mm. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I'm sorry, Themis, these women don't need prayers. They need a good voodoo priest and to release them of these things. He said Delulu is the Salulu. Period. She is convinced herself that he has not physically cheated on her, and that is wild. That is why he might not have physically cheated, but they're the same. In your mind, they are not the same. And that's why you felt the need to point out that you've concluded that he's not physically cheated. What you don't know is how idiotic that makes you look. What do you mean? She gonna correct herself. It doesn't matter if it's physical. Girl, it does. It does to you, and that's why you clarified that it wasn't physical. But it was, in my opinion. See, he might not have physically cheated. Girl, you
cheating to me. And so right when I found out, I FaceTimed Don, and he looked at me. He already knew, like, my face. I was just like, and I found out with my girls there. They were staying at my house. So I like woke them up. I'm like, it's over. It's over. I'm done. And they were like, what the hell is going on? Because this was like at 1 a.m. when I just was, everyone fell asleep, but I was awake just thinking, you know, and that's when I went upstairs and saw the messages, and I was telling my friends, it's over. They all helped me pack his bags. And like, I was just like, it's over. All of it was packed. And like, my friends were confused, half asleep, like, I don't know what's going on, but okay, Leanne, like, we're doing this with you. And that's another thing. I'm so grateful for my friends because they've been there for me through so much. And they really supported me in Don's relationship. So it was also heartbreaking for them to find out. And I FaceTimed Don, and I told him that it was over. Like, and he was confused, and he didn't know, like, how, what, when, like, what did you do to know what's going on? And then he admitted. And then after that, like I said, you know, once you get home.
Did he admit? Because those are two different things. You said he asked who, what, where, when, how did you find out? And I'm pretty sure you told him what you knew. And based on what you knew, he confessed to what. This man is confused as to why you're breaking up with him. So he's not even there apologizing right away. He asked you about what you knew. You told him what you knew. And you FaceTime him, so he was in a different state. At this point, he cheating, girl. He was probably cheating at the point you face. He was probably cheating. And he was probably cheating at the moment you called him. Girl, what do you mean? They're married. They're married. And he cheated. In her mind, he cheated after he proposed and not before, and he didn't physically cheat. In her mind, girl. I don't know. Who else has been a member for 21 months? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. The enemy is against them. They want to see them fail. She stays in perpetual torture. It's all orchestrated for their good. Yep, that's pretty much what she's saying. That's pretty much it. That's definitely. They have to stick together to fend off the demon. He looks like Stanley. Y'all play entirely too much. Stop. This man is. I think they're attractive.
Home, your bags are packed. You need to come home and pick up everything. And he said, like, of course he was begging and wanting to explain and have like a conversation with the family, because I pretty much just cut it off. I said, nope, I don't even want to talk about it. When you get here, just leave.
So there was a line.
There was.
It.
Yeah.
So it was not well, let me hear him out and stay with him and see.
No.
It was an automatic,
it's a deal breaker for me. Like, I feel like infidelity.
Girl, that is such a weird statement. Infidelity is a deal breaker for me while you're sitting right beside a man you married who cheated on you. Infidelity is a deal breaker for me. Go where? How you gonna sit there? You could have said it was a deal breaker for you until someone cheated on you and then you realize it wasn't. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean infidelity was a deal breaker for you? Again, she probably in her mind is like he didn't physically cheat. He didn't physically cheat. Girl, absolutely not. He didn't physically cheat. This man sitting there trying to figure out how he lied and got away with it. This man is trying to figure out how he convinced this woman that the one text that she found where he's setting up to go be with someone while they're engaged, how he convinced her that it didn't happen, one, and two, that he never did it to anyone else. He probably sitting there like, whoa, I'm smart. He probably like, I love her innocentness. Right in this moment, he probably repeated to himself, I love her innocentness.
Even in the Bible, like that's a time where you can say like we're not together anymore. If you cheat on me and there's someone else, like I could never see myself getting back with someone that cheated on me. And I used to think that even like before this happened, like, oh, I could never get back with someone. I don't know how she's doing it, or I don't see how I can heal from this. This isn't possible. I could never trust you again. So I understand when people say these things like, once a cheater, always a cheater. How can you trust this person? You're an idiot for even getting back with him. He's going to do it again. Like,
why y'all saying about stop? Y'all don't have to be mean. I am so confused with these too. I am so confused. Some people's ability to take bull seriously is astounding to me. Look, I can never forgive someone who cheated on me. I can stay with someone who cheated on me, but I could never forgive them. I'm only staying, mind you, because I need to wreak some havoc. I need to wreak. When you think it's peace and calm, I need to wreak some havoc after the cheatation. after the cheatation, I'm staying because I need to wreak havoc. Some people's ability. Oh, I just read that.
all of these things, but I knew that I had to.
And I will cry too. No, I don't know if I can cry, but I will. I love you. I still do. Let's stay together because I need the moments. I need you. I need I need my lick back. I'm sorry.
Separate myself because it was just that was it. It was the deal breaker for me, and then we broke up.
And most people would be afraid because you guys were engaged. Right. So you guys were engaged and living together.
Yeah.
So these are like high stakes. It's not like, okay, I'm just not going to answer his calls anymore. You actually had to move him out of the house, like call up the engagement.
You know what's funny? Don would like, hey, I left my sock over there. I'm just like, no, Don, you can't come over. And you know what's interesting? Like he did have some things lingering that I couldn't take, or me and my friends could pack for him. So I would leave the house and schedule like, okay, my mom's going to be there. You can go ahead and pick up the rest of the stuff, and then they'll let me know when you're gone. So I tried to make sure I had no contact, nothing at all. And I even threatened him, like, because he's tried to pop up, and give gifts. And I'm like, you do this again, I'm calling the cops.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so serious.
You were serious. Okay.
Like,
so we're going to go a little bit deeper. Who did Don cheat with and why? You don't have to give us a name. Okay.
Girl, give us the name. Ain't nobody care. Ladies, this is how you get brought back. Carry these lies. This is your strength training, endurance. Girl, this is about how to forgive so that you can maintain a relationship and your marriage. So hopefully pens hopefully pens are out. What is she on about? Well, now she gonna tell us about the cheatation because she's sitting up there like, oh my God, love. We want to hear about the cheat thing. It took it took 17 minutes to get to the cheating story. So, like, here, let's get to the mess. Let me hear if she retell the story the exact way she told it before.
But was it a cousin, a family friend? Was it one of these random bottle popping chicks at the club? Like, who did Don?
Oh, you disrespectful. Not y'all looking down at bottle popping women, talking about bottle popping chicks. Don't look down on these women. Y'all think y'all better than these women while y'all getting cheated on. Like, leave these women alone. What do these bottle popping people have to do with these bottle popping? What is one of these bottle popping chicks? You're you know what? Let me leave you alone. I know nothing about you and your family. Let me stop.
Cheat with.
So this happened to be Don's friend, one of his only girlfriends, not girlfriend, but a friend that's a girl. And you know, us women, I feel that you can always feel and sense if a woman's motive can be unpure.
That's called insecurity. What do you mean? As a woman, you can sense if the other woman's feelings is insecure. How about you turn that intuition onto the man? Does that woman owe you anything? Absolutely not. You need to turn that intuition onto him. Oh my God, I knew this was the friend. I saw her. It sounds like you were insecure. You saw her and you saw that. You saw that girl and you got mad. It's definitely given insecure. You saw her and you're like, oh my God, they're definitely together. Yeah, and you were right. And you were right. You were focused on the wrong person. You know those women you see when they have bad influence and bad energy you can sense. No, take that to your man. Take that to it's giving beige problem. Yep. How you gonna drag the woman? Like in this moment, you gonna say you saw her and you just got bad vibes. He's the one dragging her around, being her friend, and you're, oh my God, she had all right, girl.
Or they have ulterior motives, whatever it is. And Don has always talked about this particular friend being a really good friend of his, that's for a friend that's been there for years. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if this person's a best friend, why haven't I met her? You know, you've met all my friends. I haven't met her in a birthday, holiday, nothing.
Okay, so there were signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I noticed whenever I would leave town, he happens to go on a sushi lunch with her or visit her store because she has a little boutique store that she has. And like, they were just like, it was always it's just my friend that we just caught up real quick. So every time I would leave town, I noticed that they would grab lunch.
Yeah.
And so it made me feel uncomfortable because some of the times I would find out through other people. And being such a public
This man has been trained to not show any emotion while she talking, or he don't care. He don't. It's almost like he's like, oh, she not going nowhere. She can tell the story. I don't mind being the bad guy right now because he literally just sitting there like, yeah, I sure did that. Definitely met up with her a lot while you were here, and you only saw us texting to meet up and we never actually met up to do the thing. And she believed that, talking about it wasn't physical. Unless God himself came and told me there was not physical cheating, there was. What do you mean? They were together, going out, he was hiding her from you. Whenever you left town, they would hang out together alone, and you're sitting up there talking about it wasn't physical. Period. Do you notice the narrative is how to forgive a cheater and not how to be worthy of forgiveness after cheating? Yeah. Oh, I noticed that. And this is why it's called wife school and not husband school. That's why this is called wife school. That's why. Because you all need to learn how to forgive, and he doesn't need to learn how to be a better person. Why is she doing all the talking? He should speak. He shouldn't. They understand their brand. They under. Oh, period. My arm feel bigger. My back hurts a lot from carrying them. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. The pretty red dye wearing the cross of Jesus on his hat. He's innocent. Period. Pretty red dime. Him and Simone Biles' husband. Wait, is that for? I don't know who that is. He's from America's Next Top Model. What is the male version of a Jezebel spirit? Oh my God, I do know this. There is. I don't know it right now. I don't know it right now because my brain. There's a law of seduction, and there's a guy in there. One of the archetypes would be what I consider it, but it's not. It's not connotatively bad. Actually, it's not connotatively bad. It's actually endearing. Unfortunately, Teammates, can we get Samantha Twin Flame to review this? Y'all gonna leave Samantha alone. That woman has done nothing to you all. You were not the husband. It's not dandy. Um, you were not the wife of the husband that she was cheating with, allegedly.
Like couple, everyone's watching, and I feel like everyone's always wanting someone to mess up to just for the drama. And I've gotten calls like, hey, I just saw Don having lunch with this person. So I would call him and he's like, oh, I was going to tell you. I'm like, were you really going to tell me? So I felt like I was already threatened by that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a friend, and actually Dawn has set up dinners where we have met, and she's been around for little occasions now, like my birthday. And I even attended one of her launch parties just by myself because Dawn was available. And I was so when I know if there's a woman in his life, I want, if that's your friend, I'm going to make her my friend too, because I'm going to keep her close.
That's a spicy.
No, that is succubus. Up with incubus, succubus, but the brighter the eye, the brighter.
Tip right there. You should be befriending the friend
Only because
of your lover.
Like, if you're
always.
You're my best friend. You're my best friend.
Look,
Like,
they love you. I need to figure out what makes you so lovable. Why? Why did they love you? Let me find out.
it's not my friend and it's your friend. I just want to know, because it was just interesting to me how it was your, you know, someone that you say is close to you, and I'd never met her before. But through the years, you know, she was just always that one girl that I would just question. And, you know, they would text sometimes late at night just talking about work, because I guess she had helped him with like his website before. So she has worked with Dawn in the past. That's how.
Not she's that one girl. Like the fact that you actually believe that this man cheated on you with one, like unless you believe that he was in love with this one girl, and that should be a problem for you just generally. It doesn't make sense for you to be like, oh, there's one girl. Do you think that one girl was the only girl trying to get with him? And is he the only time he's ever said yes is with that one girl? Is it because of the history that made you believe? Like, I don't know why you think it's one. I just don't understand that. That is like tripping me up. Julian has money and no sense. He picked one. The rake. Thank you. Whoever said the rake. Creative LAT. LAT. Thank you. That's what I meant. Yeah. It's not spiritual is the same thing because it's not spiritual, but like anyway. Jenkins. I'm not reading for you. I'm not summoning anything up in here for Jezebel meant for men.
They met.
Were they intimate in the past? Was this a friend?
That's one thing that I saw in the text messages, that they went down memory lane, and that's when I knew, oh my God, they really have
history.
So we had history, but I never totally.
And I asked him before, and he lied to me.
Okay, I just let the record.
Yeah.
So he lied to you about being with the woman before y'all got together, while y'all were together, then lied to you and cheated with that woman. And you sit up there believing him that was the only one. That was the only one you caught. That is the only one. That is. A man is going to sit there and lie to you for all of your relationship about this woman who he's been with, lied to you about being with her and trying to sleep with her, lied to you about being friends and nothing more. And you believe him that that was the only one. You actually believe that. She want to believe it. She created her perfect life. She found a man that fit an image that she wanted, shoved him into her life and decided this is the story. That is what she did. She's lying to herself. She don't believe none of this. Dig deep enough, she doesn't believe. If something were to come out again, she gonna be online talking about, oh, I should have known, I should have seen. No, it's not should have. You did. You did see. You did know. You did see, you did know, and you lied to yourself and you helped him lie to you. That's what you did. Let me order my food while I'm on here. I need to order tteokbokki. I probably shouldn't be eating this late because body's gonna body in a big body Benz when I go to this event this weekend. Wearing nothing at the top. Should I do it? Should I buy food? No, I'm gonna drink tea. I'm not getting food.
I lied. I said that we never did anything. Yeah, lied about the history.
And I can tell that they had something, but I just couldn't. It's like hard to tell because Donna's such a kind person, but I could tell the girl had some kind of interest. But a lot of girls, have interest in Don. He's a beautiful person and, good looking guy. But then just her being so close to you as a friend and you guys worked together in the past, that's when I questioned him. I said, did you guys ever have anything? And he said no, because he wanted to still keep that friendship. Right. And I do believe that there were boundaries in the beginning, like when she started coming around, because she was in a relationship at the time. And when she went through her breakup, and then all of a sudden she's been more like every now blue moon texting Don or Don texting her. So then I'm like,
girl, are you insane? This is pure. At least for that one person, you should be guessing at what point did they start. He is not being honest with you. I wouldn't care what he said. I'm going through the messages and I'm going to see for myself. I'm gonna see for myself. The fact that you're like, oh, it probably started when she went through her. It probably didn't. It probably didn't. It probably didn't start with when the breakup with the woman and her man was not when they started. That's what I'm gonna say. Hearing him talk, he must have a wicked. Look, let me just say this. Not only was she providing for him, like he was like at her house enough to the point where she kicked him out, like packed his stuff and she packed his stuff and kicked him out. She, you know what, girl, you. I don't think you understand what's happening here and how and why the interaction with you and him even exists. I don't think you fully understand it. You are giving him housing. If you put a ball in a dryer, I guarantee it mimics her. Stop. Like I don't know how she. Look, if I'm gonna lie to myself, know that I'm not actually lying to myself. I might be lying to. I'm not gonna lie, but like I will know full well what's happening and do it. And I like when people do that. I don't like when people trick themselves into believing a fairy tale. Because, girl, you thought they had boundaries, and the boundaries got crossed when she got out of her relationship. They were together, mind you, before these two got together, right? So, what's his name? Don and this girl, before they got together, the girl he cheated on her with, they had something in the past. She came back into his life while she was in a relationship. And this one right here believes that the other girl who cheated with him waited till the relationship that other girl was in ended for her to make a move on her man, this one's man, Don. Girl, that don't make no sense. For me, cheating is a character flaw, and I'm just gonna go the full mile. Like when you cheat, I'm just gonna go the full mile and just assume the worst about you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not sad for her. She's choosing this. She is choosing this. I'm not sad for her at all. Not even in the least bit. There's nothing I feel. She knew who he was. She decided to be with him. He showed her who he was, and she decided that she gonna make up a story in her mind to be with him. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? At least own it. At least I want him because he's beautiful. He's a model, and I don't mind paying the bills. And he gonna do whatever he wanna do. Don't let reality ruin the life you. Wait. You all ain't right. You are not right. This is not right. This is not okay. None of this is okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's nasty work.
What's going on. So I've always just questioned it. And then that's when I pretty much knew what it was, when I went through his Apple Watch and I saw like the memory lane of what they've done together and planning to do, and that's when it was over.
Okay, so you saw signs and you had intuition, you went looking for evidence and you received that.
And I also noticed that he would reach out to her when I'm busy and he's at home.
There was inappropriate behavior going on. There was definitely evidence of that.
Yeah.
What the world wants to know is, Don, what were you thinking and why? Why would you cheat on someone as fabulous as you just described in the beginning of my first question of how you fell in love with her? Why? Why did you do it?
And so when I went searching for like why, it never has nothing to do with the woman. I mean, sometimes it may be, you may be in a relationship and there's no sex or.
Girl, why are you talking generally? The question was, why did you cheat? Why are you talking about, oh, it generally has nothing to do with the woman? I don't care nothing about why people cheat generally. I don't care. The question was, why did you cheat? The fact that you don't want to own it and talk about why you cheated is a problem. Oh, men cheat and it's generally not have to do. Don't play in my face. Play in the playground, play on the PlayStation. They don't play in my face. Talking about we, girl. This ain't no Nintendo. Nintendo, girl. Ain't no we. We ain't French. Showboy and Lava Girl type stuff, right? Stop. Oh my God. I forgot I lost my card, my debit card. And so, like, oh my God. I hate this. I actually have to put in a card to like buy food. And I better got time for that right now. Sharp Boy and Lava Girl. Correction, I'm currently cheating because I can. Period. That's literally what I heard. She's fighting for this relationship and him. Period. And that's what you have to do as a wife. You have to fight. You have to. Let me stop.
Or there may be something, but in my.
No, now y'all asking me if I need cash after buy. No. I lost my card. No, I don't. I lost my card. And so what is happening is, oh wait, it went through. Girl, it looked like my mom and my brother's card is also on here. So if one doesn't work, it just goes to the next one. I don't know whose card it is, but I'll figure it out tomorrow. They have mine in theirs too. It's sad for them that my card is lost and I cancel it and I'm getting a new card, but I will update them in a week or two. Light work, period. Post a chest pic, we got you. Period. I need. Let me stop. um, his friend is his main. His wife is a side. Y'all need to stop. That is not right.
Circumstances. It had nothing to do with Leanne. It was something that it was a pattern, a habit. Like my entire life, this was all I seen from my father. You know what I'm saying? All the men pretty much in my life, like they painted the picture like as long as you're good.
All right, so he's blaming his whole family. Take the shirt, we give you a period. Period. Y'all play entirely too much. So this man sitting up here blaming his mom, his dad, his boys, everyone, the church. This man is absolutely blaming everyone for cheating. Let's hear it. Continue.
To your woman and you're here, if you're flirting, you're not sleeping with them, you're flirting, you can see what you can get away with. Like it was always negative annotations on what a man can get away with. And for me, I had cheated in present relationships. You know, like if I would do some things and then I'd be like, well, all right, I did that, I fucked up, but let me be good to my girl and just focus on us. And so I think in this situation, like in my mind with her, like we hooked up, but we did ultimately have a friendship, me and the girl. But there was still like looking back at it, there's still always that tiptoe of if I used to flirt with her, maybe I can see what I could get away with, you know? And then in that moment, when we were talking,
This man is just babbling. This man just up here babbling. Literally, this man is just babbling. And one of the worst things I think she thought she's helping him, but putting him in therapy is only making him stronger. You're making his power, you're increasing his power levels. You're increasing his, by putting him in therapy, you are not helping him, you're increasing his power levels. He's going to be able to use the language he learned here against you. Watch. Because this man just talking about family trauma, blah, 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 blah. Girl, why you cheated? He said he cheated in multiple other relationships, and all he had to do was come home and pretend to be good. Got it. And she's sitting there thinking, oh, he didn't even cheat on me. You caught him trying to set up a plan to cheat, but you're going to sit there and say, oh, he almost cheat while he's confessing to have cheated on multiple other people in multiple different relationships because he thought cheating was fine. He saw it growing up, and the men around him told him all he needed to do was to show up for the girl he's with once he's cheated. And you sat there believing he didn't actually physically cheated on you. You're sitting there like, girl, oh my God. Anyway, no, I don't feel bad. There's no part of me that feels bad. I'm sorry. I want to find the bad, but it's not there. I don't feel no ways. You want to be delusional. At this point, you just want to. Like, what do you mean? It wasn't physical. I saw a text of them planning to meet up. It was never physical. So he's never physically cheated on me. Oh, it doesn't matter even if he did because like it's both the same to me. No, it's not the same to you. You are lying, and you're sitting in front of this man who lied to you for all of your relationship about a girl, lied to you about trying to sleep with this girl, proposed to you while setting up an interaction with this girl, and now he is confessing to you and the world that in previous relationship he just cheated, and his mode of operation was predicated on the idea that yes, he can cheat as a man, because just treat your girl fine and you're good. If you cheat, cheating is fine. I cheated on all my other girls, but you gonna sit there talking about, oh, he didn't physically cheat. Really? You No, I don't feel bad for her at all.
And we were talking about.
And it's not because she did anything wrong. I feel bad that he cheated initially. I feel bad that he treats her bad or whatever, abuse, cheating, all of that. Her choice to stay comes from low self-esteem probably, but I can't say that. But if I could say for a fact that it came from low self-esteem or something that is really hurt from her perspective outside of wanting to be with a cute man to fulfill her fantasy, if I could say that, then I could feel the sympathy, right? But I can't feel that sympathy when I feel like, oh, she's just making up a story because she has a fantasy in her mind, and by God, she's gonna create that fantasy and live it. Live your fantasy. He gonna cheat, and that's fine. Goodbye. I don't feel no ways. Anyway.
About the wedding. I don't know if it was like, it's weird because it's like as a man, you're like, if once you're moving in a certain habit, your mind always goes to flirting right away. So for me,
no, that's not true. As a man, your mind don't always go to flirting, but like, why do you keep generalizing? Own what you've done. Own it. Stop generalizing. Stop. It feels like a lot of these people decide to say men do this thing, and it kind of softened the blow for them insofar as, because we are doing this all together as men, it's not bad or it's not out of the norm that I did it. I understand that it's not good, but like all men do it. So like it lessens the blow. No, stop talking about all men and talk about you.
no matter how nice I would be, it always turned into like flirting somehow. And then I would cross the line with women and I would let it run on. And then it would start to talk about the past. And then start to talk about, well, we might have to do it one more time before I become a married man, you know? And it's just, I look back, I'm like, damn, who was I? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We would have to do it one more time before I become a married man. He is feeding her ego. He literally telling her, yes, honey, you were right. We only were setting up to do it once and you caught us before we did it. And she eating it up. She's like, I snipped that in the bud. I stopped that. I definitely stopped. Girl, absolutely not.
Like the fact that I thought it was okay to talk to women about, you know what I'm saying, like oh, well, Leanne might not know, or let's do this really quick before I become married.
He said women. He said women. The fact that he was doing this and telling them, let's do it before Leanne will not know whatever her name is. And she's sitting up there like, oh my God, it's only one, is wild. It's wild. You dream on. He lying. I believe he's lying. I believe he's lying. I wish he would sue someone, not me. I'm saying allegedly, and I'm saying I believe because I don't want to be sued. But I wish he would sue someone and they can get into like the metadata and like pull up all the deleted message because ain't no way. I don't believe this man, and I don't know why she does.
It's like, that's why I was like, I need to go seek help and figure out why I did this. Like, why did I think it was okay in the moment? And so, like, when we split up, I went and talked to different people like Tony Gaskins and other people.
Girl, not Tony Gaskins, not you dropping name. She's kind of just going through the motions. She got what she wanted. It is not what she thought it would be, and she's just literally there because she don't want to let it go. There is no life there. That is my opinion. I don't know if it's true, but also, if he's like, imagine being with someone, being friends with someone like that, talking. I would check out too, girl. I would check out. I'm sorry. I would literally just check out and then come in when I hear nothing. I would check out and come back when the sound stops, because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not, no.
People who had been married and dealt with situations and be like, yo, like I was dealing with some insecurities that I had no idea I was dealing with, that I needed the boosting of my ego from other women, even though I was getting everything I thought I needed at home. By having other women make me feel secure, like I could sleep with them, was doing something for my ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was because I was ultimately dealing with brokenness from childhood that I
Blah blah blah, brokenness from childhood. Sleeping with women make you feel better about yourself because you thought you had what you had at home with her, but you realize sleeping with other women and flirting with other women make you feel better, but you never actually slept with other women while you were with her, and she caught you before you finished the plan. How do you know sleeping with other women made you feel better while you were with her? Because you said specifically that you thought you were getting all you needed from her at home, but you weren't, because you were broken, and sleeping with other women made you feel like you were. It's not like you were sleeping with other women. I mean, I don't have to say allegedly now because you just said it. You said you were sleeping with other women because it made you feel better about yourself. And she's sitting there talking. She, you want to know what's annoying? She's sitting there and she opened by saying, she opened, she opened by saying he didn't physically cheat. I like he was just texting and try to set it up. And he is sitting there telling you that cheating with other women made him feel better about himself because he was broken, and you like, go, wait, you just sitting there like, oh yeah, he didn't cheat, he didn't physically. Go, period. Him and Tony Gaskins have y'all in a chokehold. Now he's going to his childhood. Let's go to your childhood.
had no idea I was dealing with. You know, dealing with issues with my father, dealing with issues, you know, like she said, there was a moment where like my work was kind of slow, and I wasn't getting work, and I was feeling kind of invalid. Leanne was doing a lot, and I was kind of just sitting here wondering what was going on in my life. And I feel like the pat on the back from women that I was getting was kind of making me feel like a man again, you know?
Yeah.
And it was stuff that I didn't even realize I was doing, and habits that I was always doing. Even in my early relationships, like I had to look back and like, damn, well, the times that I messed up on my girl, she was taking care of me. And it was like a weird invalidness that I had as a man. And so by other women making me feel good and boosting me up made me feel like a man again.
Yeah.
And so it was these little things where it's like, I didn't even know I was moving in this pattern, doing these things.
This, by the way, is why people are like, oh, you should date down, because if you date down, they won't. They apparently they won't cheat because they're not rich. Apparently, that's not the case. Apparently, she was taking care of him, and he was taking care of someone else with her money. Okay, so that's not what happened. But she was taking care of him while he was cheating. Got it. Cool.
And then also, you know, like putting myself in situations like, why do I need to have a homegirl that I'm talking to? And like, there's no reason to have a homegirl that I need to be talking to at night.
Right.
Like, if I need that communication, I should be having that with my girl. You know what I mean? But these were things that I didn't realize even that I had to really think about. So it was work that I never did. That in this moment, that's why when we split up, and instead of like when we split up, I was like, all of my boys were hitting me like, man, you single now? Let's go out. Let's do this. And I was like, no, I need to reflect on why I keep doing the same things. Like why as a man, I feel like it's okay to do that, and then leave this relationship and go out and just start flirting with new girls or try to get into a new relationship. Like, no, because if I get into a relationship, I'm just going to do the same thing.
Right.
I'm going to start flirting with girls on the side and not give my woman my full undivided attention. So for me, I was like, I need to sit down and figure out what that was and why I was doing that. Because in the moment, yeah, you're like, this is wrong. I shouldn't be texting this girl. I shouldn't be talking about sleeping with her. And it's crazy because I always look back to my father. Like, my father was addicted to drugs. He was addicted to crack. And he'd always like, he would get high and then he'd always hit me up the next day and be like, son, I messed up. like, I shouldn't have did that. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not going to do it again. And then he would do it again, and he would feel horrible in the moment. And it's like this, like when you're in the moment, you know it's not right. But until you break that habit and those patterns, you're just going to keep doing it. And so for me, it was a pattern that I didn't realize. And in the moment, it's like, damn, I shouldn't be texting this girl, but fuck it, I'm here now. So let's see where this conversation goes. And so for me, it was really healing to have lost Leanne and be in that pain and sit and make myself sit in that pain.
Good. You deserve to suffer.
I had to suffer, and it's bad. Yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back a little bit because my food came. I did definitely order it because I realized I didn't want y'all to be out here spreading that I have an eating disorder. So I decided that I'm gonna order the food and then go get it. Sorry, had to announce that.
Get high, and then he'd always hit me up the next day and be like, son, I messed up. Like, I shouldn't have did that. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not going to do it again. And then he would do it again, and he would feel horrible in the moment. And it's like this, like when you're in the moment, you know it's not right. But until you break that habit and those patterns, you're just going to keep doing it. And so for me, it was a pattern that I didn't realize. And in the moment, it's like, damn, I shouldn't be texting this girl, but fuck it, I'm here now. So let's see where this conversation goes. And so for me, it was really healing to have lost Leanne and be in.
You're not about to convince me she believes anything that's coming out of his mouth. You're not about to tell me she respects his words. You're not about to tell me she thinks he's an intellectual. She looks up to him. You're not about to tell me any of that. She looks at him and she's absolutely dead inside. There's nothing she feels outside of he's hot and I want him here. That is it. That is it. And I don't know why people do this. I don't know if it's true. I am projecting, I guess. But like, I never understood this. Where, or maybe I do, where you can sit there and like, I want to be with this person, but you still think this person is an absolute idiot. And you're like, why? Why are you there? Like, I mean, maybe you don't find someone as attractive, but like, you can't just pretend this person is smart or like interesting for a long. Can you pretend this person is smart and interesting for a long period of time? Because if I try to do that, you gonna know. You're gonna know. You're gonna feel unwanted and useless, and that's not right. Let that man go find his level.
In that pain and sit and make myself sit in that pain.
Good. You deserve to suffer.
I had to suffer, and it's bad. Yo, as much as it hurt, and I would be calling my boys crying, face in tears like a little baby, but I had to sit in that pain and force myself to figure out, the root of it. So
I want to acknowledge that in the Spicy Life program, I gave them a spicy assessment where I measure self-awareness, passion, intimacy, communication, and learning to say yes. Yes to the universe.
Yes to the universe, wild, wild, wild. If this woman comes back, I'm going to cut it off and I'm not going to drag her. Why? She's a pregnant lady doing her best. If she thinks she's going to do an assessment of him to see his verbal skills, communication skills, I don't know about energy and whatever that foolishness else. When my therapist went in and gave me tests on my communication level, introspection level, or whatever, like, if he comes back doing well, she lying. It feels like she's setting it up to say, oh my God, and he's like a good person now. No. If he comes back high, your test failed and you are wrong. I don't care. That is my opinion, and I don't care. If you came back and you're like, oh yeah, he's really thoughtful, even when he's thinking about taking accountability for what he does, he cannot do it. He keeps projecting generally about what men do, as opposed to own the fact that I acted poorly, I was disgusting. Oh, this is what men do, and then go into what, like, no, absolutely not. Comparing drug addiction to cheating is nasty. Yeah, exactly. Mona, you can't convince me this man score high on anything, actually, outside of taking L's and cheating.
yes to your partner, yes to limiting beliefs, and removing those. And one thing that I picked up on that was huge when I measured you guys on communication was the differences in your guys' upbringing from your family and childhood. You came from a 2-parent home where parents are still together. You saw them work through conflict. You saw your, and have a very close relationship with your father.
Bloop. Well, he failed. He failed. What are the communication? Okay, maybe she's not as bad because if she go and tell him he failed, I love this. Because the only way you would bring this up is if you're going to juxtapose their score. You're not about to sit there and say they scored the same while he was cheating. So you're not about to do that. Okay, he failed. Good. Got it. Thank God. Because I'm sitting here like, oh, you tried it. You're not about to convince me he scored high on anything, actually.
That is extremely emotionally available to you, and you are daddy's little girl. Often hear you say you guys are like this. Don's scores were very different from yours. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Leanne scored very high on a lot of things. Don's was like, nope, didn't have that. Nope, didn't have that. Nope, we didn't have many. Nope, parents weren't there. Your mom was, but you grew up a single parent home, and so you didn't really see the conflict resolution. You didn't see a man process his emotions in a healthy way and then talk about it with his partner. You didn't see how he handled.
I mean, she blaming it on childhood or whatever. Fine, I don't care. But that's what I would expect to see. I promise I haven't seen this. I promise this was not even the video for today, so I didn't. Cause I'm sitting here like, girl, I'm not a. I took 2 psychology classes in undergrad, and I could see a blind man could see that he not scoring high on anything. Not on anything. Absolutely not. He's not scoring high on anything. What do you mean? Anyway, listen. You want to know something really disgusting? The lady, the Leanne person, came in talking about how compatible they were when they first met. And the therapist is saying, you scored high on pretty much all of these things, and he didn't. He failed. Whatever. Anyway, this is what happens when you become Bob the Builder for Wounded Warrior. Period. Barbara the Builder.
Grief or depression or the things that you saw it in an unhealthy way. And so when you come from that dynamic where 2 people come together with very different backgrounds and experiences, and you're hoping that this person is just going to rise to the occasion and love you the way that you deserve and the love that you grew up with and that it sometimes can be a hard crash or devastating when those expectations aren't met. And this is not to excuse Don's behavior. This is for you guys to acknowledge that if you come from a home where maybe your parents weren't whole and they didn't teach you how to be in a loving, healthy relationship, maybe you need to take a pause and a beat and go through the process of what Don did of like, why am I broken? Why am I hurting other people? Oh, it's because I'm hurting. And I hear you and I acknowledge and just.
All she's saying is going through one ear and coming out the other for me. Because this is cute and all for communication, for love language, for interaction, for self-development, all of that. You don't got to cheat. Because no, he cheated. I don't know. All of that is useful, and I think it's good. But you cheated and lied. So no. God, I wish I could just eat my food on here, but I refuse. I think that is so disrespectful.
Want to, round of applause, because this is very hard for people to come to the realization of. Most people go their whole lives without acknowledging these things. Mm-hmm. So, Don, what advice do you have for these men that are out here cheating like crazy? And women too. Women cheat also, because I do get those couples that come in and he's like,
girl, you think that we out here care what he got to say about cheating? You brought them on there to give us a. Never mind. I forgot this is wife school. My bad. Get y'all pen paper ready. Get ready. He's about to tell y'all what to do, and what to tell your men to do when they cheat. The cheating men. All right, let's do it. My bad. I am so sorry.
Like, she cheated on me like crazy. For cheaters, period, what would you say to them? What advice would you give to them as far as these indiscretions or these bad patterns?
Ultimately, I think you got to sit and ask yourself why, because you never. I feel like men, we don't ask ourselves why. A lot of times, like when I talk to men now, they're like, "Oh well, you know, I just do it because I'm bored, or I do it because I see my dad doing it, he got away with it, or my boys give me a pat on the back for how many girlfriends I could have." So it's like, why are you doing it, and where is it coming from, and why do you need it? Like, what fulfillment do you get afterwards? Because once you sit down and think about it, the fulfillment that you're getting is, I read this book and it talks about, like, it's like once you get a little bit of pleasure, it's like you keep needing more and more and more and more. It's like once you eat some chocolate, it's like now I need more chocolate. Right. It's the same thing. It's like you're feeding your flesh. And so it's like, but once you
He's telling men from his perspective and the book that he read that once you get more, you have to keep going because it's like filling this void or whatever. And she's still sitting there thinking he never cheated on her, that he was just trying to do it. He cheated on everyone else in her. She thinks she's not like other girls. That's what she thinks. She thinks he cheated on everyone else except her. I'm not leaving that alone. Everything this man has said up until this point said he's been cheating on her. Every single thing. He's all but said it. He said he'd been out there cheating and it felt good when he was cheating on her. No, it made him feel better about himself, when he was cheating on her. With women, plural. So I don't know why she's sitting up there.
you like program your mind and you start to focus on what you're getting from it, I feel like that's when you can really be like, you're right, all I need is one woman. Like, I'm getting set. Like, yeah, I was a young single man. It was cool to like experience different women, but the cheating aspect is like, why are you cheating?
A Christian man sitting up here talking about it was cool to experience different women while you were single is absolutely nasty and diabolical work, and you're not about to convince me that he's no Christian. He's only Christian up until the point that it allows him to manipulate her to get what he wants about forgiveness and God. That is it. If you're a Christian and your advice to young men is that, oh, when you're single, it's fun to be out there experiencing other things until you get someone that you're committed to, is absolutely wild and diabolical, and you're not that Christian. And Tony Gaskins, or whatever his name is absolutely despicable too if he doesn't check you on this. I'm assuming he'll check you privately. So I'm not saying he's despicable. I'm saying if he doesn't check you on this privately, he don't got to do it publicly. That is wild. You can't be out here talking about, oh, it was fun and that, whatever. Absolutely not. And she just sitting over there just, ugh.
What are you getting from it? What void is it filling inside of you? And I feel like most of the times as men, we don't even realize. It's just, it's weird because as men, as boys, compared to women, like as boys, we're usually taught to have as many girlfriends as possible. And we're like, yo, like, how many girls you got? Like my dad would pat me on the back, like, yo, you got a few girlfriends. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to get in a relationship and then just know how to turn that off and be focused on one woman. As to where a woman, like, I feel like since kids, y'all are like, hold out till you find the right man and be with your one man. And so you guys are already programmed to just be with one partner, as to where men, we have to all of a sudden turn it off once we find that one woman, but nobody ever teaches us how to turn that off. And I feel like, so as a man,
you shouldn't have to turn it off. It shouldn't be on in the first place. As a Christian, there should not be a class about turning anything off unless you're telling them it shouldn't be on in the first place. What do you mean, turn it off? As a Christian, you shouldn't be out there dipping it and doing it. You should be out there being a good person and waiting till marriage. And if you're a Christian man and that's not what you're pushing, I'm gonna have a problem with it. I am so sorry. Because she's using Christianity to forgive you and be with you, and you're using Christianity to get her to forgive you and be with you. So y'all are both Christians, sitting up there talking about, oh, when you're single, you can dip it and do it. But then when you get in a relationship, someone needs to teach you how to turn it off is wild. You need to not have it on in the first place.
have to start being more aware and learn how to turn it off for yourself and be like, okay, I'm with one woman. This is what I have to do now. I have to be disciplined. And you learn that once you're disciplined in that one category, everything else kind of starts to fall into place too. Like a lot of times, if you look around and your work isn't going right, or, different things aren't going right. And then sometimes it comes back to because you're not disciplined in your relationship. Which is why I feel like they say, like, what do they say? Like, some of the most powerful men are like married, faithful, because they're focused on their one woman, and now they can focus. They're focused on their woman, and now they can focus on what they got to do to build the rest of the world around them the right way.
You guys are more successful. You live longer when you have the right woman.
Yeah.
You have a legacy. Like,
So
we help you in so many
ways. I think that's the biggest thing is like being aware of your mindset and why are you doing it. And
Sorry. I know on a deep level, and this is so bad, I will not explain it. I know what it feels like to sit in front of someone that you don't think is smart, but pretend like they are. And I can't do that for long, but I've tried it once in my life. And I promise you, someone who knows me very well pulled me aside and said, "You look like you're dead inside." My what I think is like my face, me being interested and shaking my head and trying to get my body to respond is not what I think it's giving. And like I get dragged every single time I try to pretend someone is interesting or pretend to care about what someone is saying when I don't care, and it's like mush mouthery or whatever you call it. I don't know, and that's something I do need to learn. I need to learn how to pretend to care. Because if you bore me long enough, girl, my phone will be out in your face while you're talking. By the way, I am saying that this is not right. And maybe when I start getting my Botox treatment, all will be well in the world because my face won't do what my face does. But like, I don't think it's right. I think you should be able to pretend to care. And I know that's kind of lying, but I do think for relationships to work, generally, friendships, relationship, you have to be able, even when you don't care, to pretend like you care. Because that ain't right. It ain't right. It's not right. Someone said don't do Botox. Oh no, I'm going to. As soon as I start wrinkling, which I'm watching my mom, and she's over 50 now, so she hasn't had to do anything. But as soon as I touch 60, or when my face starts like not, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna nip and tuck and cut and stretch, like I'm doing all of it. I, I- Girl, when I turn 60, as soon as I'm assuming that's when things are gonna starting. Oh, I'm doing everything. Oh, everything is getting done. I'm afraid of Botox though, because I go to my friends and they have like Botox party in New York, where literally random people are just injecting. Like you have random, you have random people injecting random things and toxin in your face. I'm sitting there like, absolutely not, absolutely not. They're like, oh, it's preventative. Well, not for you. It's not. It's not preventative for you. I know you're saying for me it might be preventative, but for you it's not. It's not preventive. It's not preventative. You are literally reversing your wrinkles. Nothing about that is preventative. It is what it is. I said what I said.
realizing that you don't need to do it, but turning that off, knowing to turn that off, like, okay, it's a new phase of life now. I'm not this kid running around sleeping with everybody free willy. Like, I'm turning that off. I'm going to a new phase of my life.
How did you turn it off? So walk us through pretty much what your personal healing process was.
For me, ultimately, it was first figuring out like what was going on, and I realized like I was dealing with some insecurities from not having my father around, and I always wanted like that approval, that pat on the back. I remember as a young kid, like whenever he wouldn't come to my games, and as I got older, like my mother was very supportive, but I still was missing a little bit of love. And then so as I got older and being in the entertainment industry and hearing no so much and getting shut down was a confidence breaker. And then I found myself constantly going through these.
Yo, the way I actually did check out just now, I don't know what this man is talking about. Wait. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. For the last minute and a half, I don't know what happened. I'm not rewinding it. I'm not. But I literally have no clue what happened. I don't know what this man. Wait, have you ever read a paragraph and you read the entire paragraph, but you like, oh my god, what did happen? Like you have to. That very rarely happens to me. That very rarely happens to me. It literally, I'm not even rewinding it. They're both bored, by the way. Let me make this big so yeah, I can see both their face. Is she dead inside too? Like they're both bored out of their mind. Thank you. You Sakura. Steam, you didn't miss anything. Good.
Levels where I was eager for like that sense of approval, and then I was starting to get it from women. And then my, as a young man, sleeping with women and feeling that pleasure.
Wait, do you think he intentionally does that? Talks and draws and like be slower, just so that like we can check out? Because I know that I have intentionally overwhelmed a student with information about the firm because I didn't want to answer their question. I have intentionally just overwhelmed someone with information just because I didn't want to answer the question. So it feels like he's intentionally doing this. It feels intentional.
And then sleeping with different women and getting that sense of pleasure and all that kind of compiling, it just turns in a pattern. And for me, I had to, once I stepped back and was like, well, what am I doing that's unhealthy patterns, and it's going to the club all the time, drinking, being around women, hanging out with a bunch of single guys that their focus is getting women. And so now I'm hanging around with them. I'm in the club, I'm watching, uh, a bunch of I'm watching pornography, the music that I'm listening to, I'm drinking. Like all of these things were unhealthy for me as a person. And so I was like, I need to cut out these things. I need to like start working on wording, like affirmations, so that I'm now aware. So for me, like even as simple as if a woman walks in the room and her breasts are out and her ass is out, as a man, I'm gonna look at her, but then it's like catching yourself, well, why?
Hmm. You want to know what's sad? The features he just called out is not exact. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave. The I don't understand why, if those are the things you like, why choose why I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Because that don't make no sense. Pray for and he forgot he's a Christian.
I want to sleep with this woman. Okay, and what's going to happen after I sleep with her? Then what's going to happen? I'm going to get a little bit of pleasure. It's going to break up my happy home. You know what I'm saying? And so it's mind work. For me, it's all about mind work, because once you start to do mind work, now you're aware. And I feel like a lot of times we just aren't aware.
It is weird to me. It is weird to get someone very opposite to what you like. I don't know if this is true for him, because it feels like when you articulate, if someone really loves you and they are not what you like, and you articulate it, it is going to make them insecure. It is going to make them feel bad. That's probably why she saw that girl and was like, "Oh." It's probably why she saw that girl and she was like, one of these things don't look like they are. I'm done. She said she saw that girl and she knew immediately, and I think I know why now.
Like we're just moving in habit. So for me, it's mind work. It's catching my thoughts and changing those thoughts. And now if a thought comes in my mind, I can catch it, become aware.
And I think that's so different from your original mindset where you can now acknowledge but weren't in the moment realizing like I have these voids, these things that are unfulfilled in my life, right? Yeah. And then you also were avoidant of facing those demons. Yeah. And then in addition to that, you know, you're feeding your flesh instead of feeding your spirit. Mm-hmm. And so you were also making excuses with, you know, well, women and having as much as you can consume or the, you know, or the spice in your life, the variety, which is not actually spicy, but variety does feel good. Like that's a very like fleshly desire, but it's not an excuse. Us as humans need to.
I feel like I'm a body language expert. That just made this woman so uncomfortable. I actually now feel bad for her. She even comforting herself. She grabbing her feet, rubbing her arm. This woman is stressed. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. The affirmation he needs are in the Bible. Thou shalt not commit adultery. He acts like he doesn't have a right. Period. Period. That is the affirmation he needs on his window and everywhere with him. I don't know why he out here pretending
to operate from self-control, or we're no different from animals. Right. And so I think you acknowledging and saying like, okay, these are all the things that I was doing wrong. And you took a beat. You didn't go straight to like partying again. You were like, dang, I lost the best thing that ever happened to me. Mm-hmm. Now I want to hear how you got it back. Yeah. What the hell did you do? Because people want to know, like, people were like, how did y'all make this work? Because you even said, Leanne, earlier, that you would never take someone back who cheated on you. Yeah. What did he do to earn you back? Because you cut him off 100%. Like, and listening to him now, like it sounds beautiful, but in that moment, you probably were like, F this dude, you know, never again. Like, did we block and delete and like fully close him? Like, what was some of that letting go process and then that welcoming back process? What did that look like?
So letting go, it's so easy for me to walk away when I know it's not serving me. So I literally cut everything off. I blocked him. I told my parents, like, don't talk to him. You guys can have your relationship. Because one thing, my parents look at Don as a son. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to ever be in the position to say, you can't talk to him. And I could, but I care about my parents and their happiness too. And if they want to have a friendship, they can, but not around me. Like, please don't bring him around me. The connection has to be completely cut off from me and Don. And it was really hard because I was really close to his mother too. She was my best friend. And it was really hard and tough to just completely change the entire like family dynamic of having family, because we're so close to our family. And so the holidays were coming up and having the tradition of being together, it was so weird, you know, to have to just really look at this new life without him, because I was so used to him preparing a whole life with him. It was just already just a plan. And then seeing that I had to like.
I wish my mom, my dad, or my brother would talk about they have a what relationship with whom? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You do not. You do not. You don't. You only have a relationship through me. What do you mean? You can reach out. They can love all they want. They gonna love from a distance. If I see it, we gonna have problems. I am that person. Unless I am the one who caused the breakdown. If I did something wrong, I will take that L. I will take that punishment. I will. I think the person who did the wrong thing to cause the problem, that you need to sacrifice a lot. So like I would. But if you cause the problem and I am hurt and if you cheat on me, girl, what do you mean love and care? And that's why your dad got in his ear and got in yours talking about forgive him because I be cheating on your mom. It's fine. That's not what he said verbatim, but that's how I interpreted it.
Him go, especially through quarantine, was honestly the hardest because I could not travel. I couldn't go out with my girls, and I was so ready. I was ready.
She was traveling
at one place, I wasn't traveling everywhere.
And I started praying, Lord, I said, I know what you gotta do, but don't let her travel no more. And then quarantine happened. I was like, thank you. No. I was like, yeah, if I gotta stay in, she gotta stay in. I was like,
That's not funny. You prayed to God that she didn't find anyone that she gotta stay in. You cheated. What do you mean? Thank the Lord for the pandemic that killed people. Sorry, too late.
Everybody in the world, I'm sorry, everybody in the world. I said that prayer. I didn't know it was gonna affect everybody.
Tell the truth. Did you start dating other people right afterwards?
No, honestly, I was like, everybody has COVID. Don't talk to me. I did not like men. I was so over it. I just wanted to separate myself from relationships. I didn't even want to think of a relationship. I just wanted to be with my family and my friends. And like, I love being surrounded by my family and friends. So I really took time with my family. And then I went to Mexico with my girls. And then that's when COVID happened.
Immerse yourself with loved ones.
Yes. But COVID happened and we all got back. And especially just having to quarantine and just not be around people, like that's when it was really hard, because I had to separate myself and I had to sit with my feelings and I had to reflect on everything that was happening. And Don was trying to talk to me also in the beginning of, quarantine. And it was so hard to say no and just separate and really reflect and do what's best for me, because especially when you're used to being with someone every night, it's so weird and cold in bed. Like, it's just such a weird adjustment. But I knew I loved me more than being in a situation that was not for me. So just really focusing on the self-love really helped me stay strong. And also my sister, Melissa, at the time was going through a divorce. So we were doing this together, which was also a really big help for me. And just surrounding myself again with the people that I love, focusing on the exciting things I have planned for the future, knowing that God's plan is greater than mine, and knowing that everything happens for a reason. My faith was also so strong. And what really helped me through this breakup was my relationship with God, and really focusing on my self-love and taking the time to really sit with my feelings and accept what the truth was. And it was so hard too, because my parents were also going through a little depression from the not being able to travel and do anything too. So we were all in the house just like upset about a lot of things. But then that was when also I started writing my affirmations with my dad. So that journal is what inspired it.
The inspo from behind it, I'm like, it's so beautiful. But this came from, look what grew from something that had to die.
It started with just a notebook with my family. I said, listen, we're all depressed in this house. We need to change our mindset because all of us are getting so upset. So we need to write down a few things that we're grateful for every day, pray and talk about the amazing things that we have, what we're grateful for. And then it started changing our outlook on everything. My dad was getting happier because they were going through a depression, and my sister, of course, she's going through a divorce. We're all going through something. So writing affirmations and manifesting and really focusing on the things that we have and just thinking about the future rather than the things that we're just struggling with, we had to just push through. And that's what inspired me to do this one. And I said, it was so powerful for me and my family. I have to share this with my followers, because I never wrote in journals. I wasn't a journal writer. Like, it wasn't my thing, which is why I made such a simple journal of what helped me. So I'm just so grateful, honestly, that I learned and experienced the experiences that I've gone through with Don, because it really helped with my family. We got stronger. We learned.
You're so happy you went through the experience you experienced with him. Girl. So cheating make your life better. Okay, period. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. She didn't know how to love herself until he cheated on her. And period. And then she got back with him. Sorry.
And a lot about ourselves and growth, and just through that time of, sorry.
Well, no, I was gonna say, you're not the only one who wrote a book though during this breakup.
So through this time of doing this, I get a phone call, pretty much from
pretty much what happened. So what happened is a little bit about manifestation is crazy, because we both went to God, and we went to like manifesting and changing our mindsets. And
all right, why are y'all mixing New Age with Christianity? And I welcome being corrected here. But my spirit is telling me that manifesting is inconsistent with Christianity. Something is telling me that those two don't get along. And the reason why those two don't get along is thy will be done, not my will be done. That is wild. They're sitting up in my face talking about, oh, y'all manifesting with the Bible. Period. I'm trying to figure out, if she cheated, if she gonna be out here cheating, would he stay? Would he stay?
So when I was sitting at my mom's house and she was not talking to me no more, and I was like, okay, I really have to live with the fact that she might be done with me. But I was like watching a bunch of videos on like manifesting and getting the life you want. And I was like, yo, I want Liam to come back in my life. But
manifesting and getting what you want is wild to me. That is wild to me. Not only is that wild, it sounds like y'all were both out here trying to do business plan. Let me go in the Discord. Y'all were out here doing y'all business plans. Y'all were trying to sell people books. Y'all knew y'all were gonna come back together. And so, because she not going nowhere, girl. Like, let's be real. You tricked her into believing that y'all didn't do anything physical, so she wasn't about to go anywhere. Y'all pretended to take a break, wrote books, came back together, and now y'all start this dusty tour about being forgiveness.
But at the right moment. And so I was like watching videos, and it was like, write out like the things you want, put like a time frame on them, right, of what you want in your life, and the things will start to happen. And so I was talking to like my life coaches, and my life coach, Tony Gaskins, and he was telling me like, you should write your book and like tell your story for the young men, and because you see celebrities break up, you see men cheat, and then they break up, and you never hear what happened or what led to the cheating, or how these men, did they fix themselves, or did they just move into a new relationship? And so he was like, you should write your book and tell your story of how your generational curses you had to overcome, my truth, bestseller. So I wrote this book to,
Yeah, how thin is this book? How thin? Y'all didn't even try to write a book. Wait. Girl, how thin is this book right here? This is the book. Y'all playing in my face. So you sit there, wrote a pamphlet talking about your truth and why you cheated, and there's nothing in there. Just that premise alone should be at least 200 pages. Girl, you know those music books they hand out in those Baptist church? That's what this man sat up here talking about. He wrote a book. If you don't get out of my face, absolutely not.
my best-selling book. Another thing was to get this movie sold that I was working on. But another one was to bring Leanne into my life somehow. By this date, I wrote like a date.
Please remove that book from my face. Please remove that pamphlet. Please remove it from my face because ain't nobody got time for that. Best-selling where? It's not New York Times. Is it best-selling on Amazon for a random genre that no one knows of? That your book is the only book in this genre, and then you're the best-selling book in there. Is that what this is? Ain't nobody got time. I'm gonna skip through this because ain't nobody want to hear that. You gonna write a book, but you don't want to put the work into writing the book. Just wrote a pamphlet talking about how Tony Gaskin, your mentor, told you what. Actually, let me go back because I want to hear what he said. Written in phantom ink. The words are probably too big for one page. Like now, I want to look in this book. We're gonna review this book. If I remember the name of this book, we're gonna review it in the book club because ain't nobody got time for this.
Like, hey, you look good. Like, damn, I haven't, like, she blocked me. I haven't spoken to her, but I was like, this was a little sign from the universe, like, for me to show her that I'm doing good. And I let her know, like, I'm doing good. I was like, I'm writing a book. And I kind of asked for her piece, like, y'all mentioning our breakup and what happened and how it kind of helped me go through this journey that I'm on right now. And is it cool if I mention our relationship and the breakup? And she gave her okay. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So that was kind of like the first time that we kind of spoke. And then I finished the book like the next month. And I had reached back out and I was like, hey, I finished the book. I'm doing a.
What do you mean the next month? This did not take you over 2 days. This did not. If this took you more than 2 days to write, girl, you have problems. You have bigger problems than a relationship. If this book took you more than 2 days to write, you have bigger problems than a relationship. Look at that. Y'all can see that, right? Y'all can see that. No, I'm not getting. No, I'm not. No sympathy. If you're gonna sit there and write a book, you need to sit there and write the book. And please don't let there be any pictures in there. If there is one picture in there, that's one too many. If there, girl, look how open his body language is and Leon is heavy. That's what they manifested. Yeah, the thing is, I can tell when he's excited, and he's excited for this book. And that's the problem. But what is this book? If there is one picture in the book, it's one too many. You're wasting pages. You don't have enough pages to write, to do that. And yeah, I believe there might be pictures in there because it's saying my truth. He's a model. He got his start on America's Next Top Model. I would assume he would put it in there. You are saying my truth. You were on America's Next Top Model. You went with someone. You cheated on someone. You got Tony Gaskin to be your mentor or whatever spiritual leader. You all got back together. This book should be at least 500 pages. The fact that I'm looking at a pamphlet is a problem. I wish I had seen this before I came on. Her book of affirmation is bigger than his book of nothingness.
Book launch, I would love for you and family to come out and just be there if possible. And so that's kind of what opened the door to us speaking again on a friend level. And also you spoke to, because Tony Gaskins.
So that's the phone call that I got. So the phone call was from Tony, and Tony was checking on me, and then he also brought up like, hey, by the way, Don's writing a book and you're in it, just letting you know. But from my perspective, like he's been really working on himself, and he'll tell me the truth because he's been in our relationship since the beginning. And so I trust his advice. Like everything that he says, I really value his advice and everything. So when he says something like, oh yeah, Don's working on himself, I'm like, that's good. You know, I'm happy for him. But I really didn't see myself getting back with him still. I was still like.
So everyone was pressuring this woman. Everyone was pressuring this woman to get back with him. And I don't believe that. She knew what she wanted. I should have made rice. I hate eating tteokbokki without rice. They have rice cakes in here. It's fine.
Like, I wasn't mad at him. I was just like moving on. Like, I forgive you. I'm out. Like, I'm not gonna go back to this. There's no point. And hearing from Tony and just hearing like the positive things that he was saying about Don, it just, you know, it did make me kind of happy for him. But then like I was already in a place where I'm moving on. So when he had asked, when Don asked me, can like I put the book out? It's about you. I said that's fine. As long as it's not quoting anything that I'm saying, it's all you. That's fine. Because I don't want.
Sorry, I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say this because I am a skinny guy myself. I'm not saying it disrespectfully. I just noticed how skinny he is. I thought he was like muscular. I don't know why I thought he was muscular, and I'm literally just noticing like he's like sunk into the couch. Like he's so small. I didn't notice that at all.
Want to have to do a YouTube video like, hey, page 13 is wrong. I did not say that. But
it's also like one chapter.
Yeah,
really
and it's
down.
like literally detail. So when the book was done, Don had sent it to us, and I read it in like 2-3 days, and I cried, and I was just so impressed. Like, you know, he really is putting in the work. He's really opening up and just really becoming a man about the situation. He didn't.
Girl, why would you be crying reading that book? It is impossible. It is physically impossible for him to open up in any meaningful way in that small. Like there's nothing to open up about. What he say? What he said? He can only go into any detail at all on like one topic, maybe, if that. What do you mean he opened up? Yeah, we're gonna read this book. I want to see what made her cry. Don't call me a mind reader, but I'm seeing side babies and divorce in the future. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope she right and he never really cheated physically and like whatever, but this seems delusional to me. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Sultry Love Child, I think. Sultry Love Child.
Turn to alcohol. He didn't turn to girls. He didn't turn to just the negative things. He really made a change. And so that's when I saw the growth. And it's just, you know, I was just like, okay, well, I'm happy for him. And, you know, I'm a very forgiving person, but I don't forget the things that someone has done to me. But at the same time, I don't hold it against them. You know, I congratulate, and I was happy for him. And when my parents were saying, Leanne, please can we just go stop by for the book launch? All of your friends are going to be there too because we share the same friends. And it was already like really, when was that? Around
July of 2020.
Yeah, so it was already months has passed. I already had launched like a YouTube video talking about the breakup. I had my closure, and Don was respecting my space, and I was able to, you know, focus.
Yo, I'm going to be so mad if they don't talk about the dad. I feel like the most pivotal part of their breakup and coming back together is her dad. Because she's sitting up there flexing on him, talking about, oh, I had my mom and my dad in my life and he didn't, blah, blah, blah. While your dad was out there cheating on your mom. You probably have your mom and dad in your life because your mom decided to stick around when your dad kept cheating. Look, I don't believe when someone say they cheated once. I don't believe. I don't believe. I've never believed. I don't know why you have a book launch for that pamphlet. I'm not going to get into that. Everyone just want to have a launch apparently. But period. 400 page soft cover book is evil.
On my healing and self-love. So I was at a better mindset, like a mindset. I wasn't bitter towards Don. But so we went to the book launch, and, you know, seeing Don, and he had this whole speech that he was like holding in his tears, and everyone was just listening. And it was just like, it was an amazing heartfelt speech. And for a man to stand up in front of everyone and to admit his wrong.
Let me hear the speech, girl. Because Quavo, not Quavo, what's the other one? Off, jump off, turn off, up, on, up, down. Whatever his name is, Cardi B's man. Didn't he? No, it's not Takeoff. Takeoff passed away. Offset. I turn Offset on. It's Offset. Offset decided that he gonna jump on stage and apologize in front of everyone, admitting his wrongdoing, and then continue to cheat. So you sitting up there, oh my God, I've never seen a man. You weren't watching pop. You weren't looking on the TV. You were not looking at the TV. I also want to hear this speech. I want to hear this speech. I want to hear this speech because I want to hear how heartfelt it is. Because he can speak on a couch, just regular talking. He out there with a mic with a bunch of people in the backyard yelling. I want to hear it. I want to hear what he got to say. Play it. Y'all have the records. Let me go Google it later.
And to really show the world that he's like, listen, I did this, but I want to fix it and I want to be a better person and I'm not going to let my past hold me back to becoming the man that God has for me to be. So I was proud of him. And then like after that, I knew Dawn was like, reaching out a little more like, hey, how are you? I just wanted to say, I'm really thankful that you came to the book launch and, if we can all hang out again. And I'm like, oh, here we go, hang out again. And so I was like, I knew this was gonna happen eventually, but I was open to hanging out if it was in a group setting like that, because we did. All of our friends.
I do that. I'm terrible. I am so terrible. They call him Off to cheat, not Offset. You want to know? For the longest, I believe Offset wrote a lot of Cardi B's rhyme because it's very self-promotional. If you listen to Cardi B's songs while she's with Offset, it is all promoting him. And while I know there are women who are like, my man, my man, my man, like the way the raps flow feels very Migos-y to me. And so like whenever I hear Cardi B talking about Offset, it feels like he wrote the songs for her. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But I don't have any proof on that. It's just, yeah.
Friends were there, my family was there. It was very it was peaceful, it was fun, and it was respectful. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. So I said, if it's gonna be ever us hanging out, it's gonna be in group settings. So certain situations all of us getting together to shoot content or whatever it was, he was around with all my friends. So it took a while to finally say, okay, we can finally have one-on-one. But it took a while.
Yeah, because then I think that was around the time of the protest, and we started protesting.
Yeah, we protested. Yeah, he showed up.
You found
we found ways to do things together.
Because
I told her, I said, in my mindset, I was like, my goal ultimately is I always wanted to be with her, but ultimately I was like, well, I don't want to lose that friendship either, because we had that friendship. And so I was like, I told her, let's just focus on building a friendship again, and let's not try to force us. Mm-hmm. And let me just be your friend, and because we're all around each other, and I want us to be cool. And then and I was like, then maybe I can take you on a date. Maybe I can take you on a date again.
But the thing is, the difference from before to then, from when we broke up to the time after the book launch and everything, I didn't feel the desperation that he had. Mm. I felt the growth and the mature Dawn, and just let's just be friends. And I felt that I felt comfortable to be able to hang out.
Was there a recording process? So you courted the first time to get her heart. The second time after you established the friendship, was there a period where you started to court again, where you were taking her out on dates, doing sweet things, feeling,
Y'all, the only thing I care about right now is the dad. And I'm very annoyed. I hope I didn't skip it in the little part that I was skipping around, because they have to, how do you not include that? How do you not, I just want y'all to hear the dad part, because I actually want to cut it off and make it into a short also.
Feeding her love languages. Did you start through that process again?
Yeah, so
I hope that, wait.
I would show up with some flowers, bring her flowers, or have some flowers sent to her. Show up with letters? I would send her I would send her some letters, get some of her favorite food delivered to her. Just I would try to do more thoughtful things. But for me, my mindset now compared to before, before it was let me do something to try to get her back or do something to make her feel good. But now my mindset was let me do something to kind of create a new habit in my life. This is something that she says she likes, so let me kind of create a new habit of doing thoughtful things for her. And hopefully if we do grow and get back together, I've now implemented this new habit to where I'm just, when I'm out, I think to grab something nice for her, because I know that one little thing, might brighten up her week. As before, I wasn't doing thoughtful things like that.
Okay, Don, so it sounds like you did a lot of things to try to, get pretty much reprogramming of your mindset, showing up. You put a lot of things out there in the universe. You were manifesting. But how did you get Leanne to take you back and then say yes? Because you guys just had a very public, another one, engagement. How did you get to that point? How did you get her to say back yes to you? Because a lot of people, and even in Leanne's mind, she was saying no. How did you get her to say yes this time?
So once we started dating again, of course we were talking and we're like, well, we were planning on getting married. Like, where do we stand right now? You know, like when you get back together from being engaged, like, do we start over? Are we engaged again? Like, what's the process from here? You know? And I told her, I was like, well, I feel like I'm a new man. So I kind of want to do things all over again. You know, I want to kind of maybe rush the process. I do want to marry you soon, but but I still want to take like new steps, you know, like let's date and then let me repropose. I want to get a new ring for you. Like, I want it to feel right. Like, I don't want you to have any doubts on if I'm the right man that you're marrying. And I want to show you now that I put this work in and I am the new man. So I was like, I told her, like, I want to repropose to you. And she's like, okay. And so we talked about it, and we were talking about planning a wedding, and we were like, well, I do want to get married soon. And we talked about all these things. So for me, I was like, I want this proposal that I do to be special. I want to make sure I get her a nice ring. Like, the ring got to be crazy because I like the first ring, but this one got to be way crazier than the first ring. I want, you know, and I wanted like the location to just be perfect. And so it's crazy because I have been doing so much manifesting. I had this script for a film that I have been trying to get sold for the past 3-4 years, and I finally got it sold. And so my team, they were like, we're gonna be shooting in Dubai. And so in my mind, I was like, it would be the perfect thing to propose to her in Dubai, doing my film. Yeah. And so it just like lined up perfectly. And so to get her to say yes, I mean, we were at a stage when I reproposed that I didn't think she was gonna say no.
You were confident.
I was confident that it was gonna be a yes. But I just wanted her to know and be confident now that like before, when she said she had those little doubts of my flirtation and was I really ready, or was I still worried about other females? I wanted her to know now that this is it, me and you. This is like, I'm all about you. This is the man you're getting. And I wanted that to be vocalized and her to understand that. And so it's going to be work. It's like you said, it's going to be constant work and constant reminders. And she's going to wake up some days, maybe still doubting it and wondering why she gave me another chance or why she's back with me. And it's going to be my job to reassure her and remind her and let her know, like, this ring isn't just a ring. You know, not too many people get second proposals, but you know, like, but I look at this as like, now I finally have an understanding of what it means to be all in and be proposing and ready to be just locked in with just you know? And so it signifies like me really willing to put all that work in, because me being the one that hurt her, I have a lot of work to do. I have to be able to constantly set my pride and ego aside as a man and be ready and willing to nurture and let my soft side show and let her scream and yell at me sometimes and just sit back and take it. You know, this is something that when I went into it, I was like, these are the steps that I'm gonna have to do if I'm coming back from breaking her heart. I'm gonna have to be okay with all of this as a man. And this was stuff that some men were like, bro, you tripping, like, that's whack, why are you doing that? But the right men in my life were like, that's what a real man does. You know, that's what a real man should do. And so I've been taking advice from the real men in my life, not knocking like other men. It's just, you have to reach this level.
I too am sick of them. I am not even interrupting because I'm like actually disgusted. So like I don't really care about that. I want to get to the like it. I am, and you don't have to stay with me. I actually appreciate it, but I am on a mission right now. If this ends without the dad coming up, I'm gonna have a problem, because she very specifically said the only reason she went back with him is because of her dad. And I need her to include that. And I hope they didn't realize how disgusting that was and remove it from their story.
And talking to a lot of men, we're not taught this stuff. Right. And we don't have enough men in our life that are willing to speak up on it, because they're like, oh, that's soft, or, you know, you're soft if you show that side of you. And there's not enough men that are like, no, be vulnerable. Let that soft side show, like, you know. And so that's kind of where I'm at, is like, I feel like our relationship and where we're at, I can be that voice for men and try to give that advice and hope.
You out of pocket, Crystal. You out of pocket. Not just like Rumstead.
That it saves a couple men out here.
And I've witnessed it. We meet weekly in our sessions, right? You guys are coming with your homework done, because I give you guys a lot. You guys are calling me even when we're not in our session.
I'm on set reading lines from my movie over here, and I'm like, assessment, okay, do this, okay, lines, assessment.
But I can see when you guys come into our sessions that you guys have like actually talked about the things and taken the tools that I've given you and applied them when you're not even with me, right? You're not just showing up for the sessions and you're like, okay, Spicy, we're just gonna appease you for right now, because it's not about me. It's about you guys. And when I see that not only can you articulate an understanding of the information that I'm giving, but then seeing change in the dynamic of how you guys communicate together in our sessions even, and how you process information, I'm like, okay, they're getting it. Where were you guys at when you decided, like, what state in your relationship were you guys at when you decided to take it to the next level and come to the spicy life?
Well, you know, it's crazy because when we separated, like, I never had thought about seeking counseling or anything before, but when we separated, I was talking to a life coach, I was taking therapy, and it felt so good to have someone to talk to. Then when we got back together, I had kind of talked to her about it. And then a friend of ours mentioned you, and it was like the perfect time, because we were finally like opening up to us being able to talk to somebody.
Parents, and I felt like if I'm going to go into marriage, I just want to be 150% sure that this is going to be the man, and I'm going to be confident walking down the aisle, and also healing and growing in my trust with Don. And I think that was the biggest challenge for me, was trust, because when you experience infidelity, it does something to a woman, and it makes a woman, if a woman's not mentally strong, they're going to question themselves. Yep. And then they're going to wonder if it's them. And it's not even that. It could be in some cases, but in my case, I knew I was giving my best foot forward for Dawn and trying to be the best woman I can be. But also there may be things that I'm unaware of that I may be carrying from my past. And I know if I'm going to step into this marriage life and I want to have a relationship like my mom and dad, I want to be ready. I have two amazing, beautiful sisters that have been so supportive, but they've gone through 2 divorces, and me watching them go through divorces, and it's just the most stressful, time-consuming thing. And I didn't realize how long it took to change the last name back. Like, it's so much work. And like, I don't want to have to deal with this. Like, let's really figure out if I want to do this work. So, and I knew that counseling was something that I wanted to do, but at first I was a bit like, I don't need counseling. Counseling's for people that are just like, you need it. It was just not, I wasn't open to it yet. I was a bit still like, not like, I wasn't motivated to do it just yet. I wanted Don to make sure he was doing all the things that he needed to. But then I realized, what? My friend's telling me about you and how much it's helping her. And
you're out of pocket. I am not saying that I didn't think it, but you shouldn't say it. That is wrong. The power is in the tongue. So you cannot be having the fingers in this case. You can't be saying this. Because she was like, she has 2 sisters and they went through 2 divorces. And I was like, girl, you speaking down on them. It doesn't sound like you're like, oh, they have 2 divorces, such is life. It's like, oh my God, you had 2 divorces and I don't want it to be me. And it's like, well, it might not be you because your mom stuck through it. Your mom stuck through it. It don't gotta be you. It don't gotta be you. You can do like your mom and stay, as you have done.
I want to, I'm going to be open to it. I really want to try and see if this is something that would help me, because Tony's helping me. But counseling is, of course, work also with this person. If Don is willing to do the work with me, it's also going to give me a sense of security, knowing that, okay, I'm not in this by myself. Teamwork. So once I opened up the idea of like, let's do this, let's make this phone call, because it was so hard to find somebody that we felt comfortable with. And I've talked to a few different therapists, and I just didn't feel like I had this connection with them. I wasn't really feeling like a good vibe of just feeling that me and Don will do well with this. Like, I didn't know, and it was expensive. I'm like, are we wasting money? Like, but it's like, you pay for the counselor, you pay for a divorce later, you choose, So I met, it didn't even take me long. We had our first consultation, and I was so excited. I'm like, I love her. She's amazing. I already can feel all of the things that she's just dropping these gems. I'm just absorbing everything. Like I didn't realize it was everything I needed and everything that would help me and Don. And also
the partner, I feel like it's amazing because like the communication, like when it's just you and your partner, like you have your opinion, they have their opinion. How do y'all come to a middle ground? It's hard. So being able to like break things down, it's like the work.
Formula. So even for like when Don, coming from like a man's perspective, he can really understand. Because I feel like a woman can understand a lot more easier, because we're so used to talking about our emotions and our feelings. And guys sometimes don't even feel comfortable talking about it because it's a sign of weakness, or it's weird, or I don't know if, I feel comfortable talking about my feelings, because I'm really knowing what we're doing and whatever problem we face, we know how to tackle it. It's been a really amazing journey.
And like, gosh, this is a couple that
I'm pissed. I am really pissed, because the fact that y'all sat up there and wasted my time and know that the only thing that is important in y'all's story, you removed it. The part of your story that is important is where your dad, he went behind your back and talked to your dad, and your dad confessed to him that he also cheated on your mom. I can't find it, and I'm not playing all of it.
Hey guys, welcome back.
In this video, they did it. So if you want to watch it, I'm not playing it because I am pissed. I am royally pissed. I thought that was a concrete part of their story that would be included. It wasn't included. And I am pissed because the part where your dad told him that your dad also cheated on your mom and they worked through it, and your dad came to you and pretty much told you like, that's a good man, he just cheated, it's fine. That part of the story should not get left out at all. It should not get left out at all, because I need your dad to come to the front of the class too. I need your dad to come to the front of the class. I need your dad to come to the. Let me put this in this. Y'all go watch this and like tell me the timestamp. So on Friday, if y'all figure out the timestamp, tell me so on Friday I can play it. Because you're like, oh, my mom and dad, they taught us how to compromise and I knew what love was. Yeah, no, your dad was cheating on your mom too. So there is that. I'm not, no, anybody got time for you to be up here flexing with your mom's relationship while your dad was out here cheating. There, I said, no, allegedly. If you want someone to sue, go sue them because they're the ones who told us. So there is that. All right. I'm annoyed. So let's go into the after show and end this. And I'm mad. I literally just wanted that. That is the only thing I wanted, and they couldn't even give it to me. We need fathers in the way. Period. This lady sat up there. Oh, I have laser treatment tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. You all don't have to be members. I will keep this open until probably tomorrow when I go live. Then I'll make it members only, but it is a members only. So I apologize. But don't become a member to watch. Obviously, it is here. Um, it's going to be available. And I'll figure out how to make it members only because that should have been easy. Anyway. Have a wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Penelope. But they don't have to like it. This one is not like for public consumption. Also, like I'm in these people's business in a way that I probably shouldn't be. So, like, I'm definitely gonna make this members only. But I appreciate that. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Timestamp. Someone found it for. Thank you. Oh, period. Let me go. You said 4-2. I love this. I hope you're right. Because I hate saying things without like the thing.
Because one of the people that I talked to through this whole situation that you would think would be anti-me for breaking her heart is her dad. Yeah. Like, and her dad got closer to me in the situation and really took me under his arms and was like, he was like, look, I had a similar situation when I was with her mother. I cheated on her mother and it was bad. And he told me.
This is diabolical. This right here is absolutely. This is absolutely diabolical. I hope that they got confirmation from her dad to release this information. I hope that there were people in the family who already know this information and they agreed to put it out there because just putting this man's business out there is wild. But for you, ma'am, to sit up there talking about how in love your family was, blah, 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 that's probably why you stayed. Your dad is a cheater, has been a cheater, will always be a cheater in my mind. So you don't get to flex on your mother and father. But him sitting up there and the dad and him connecting over the fact that they're cheaters is wild. The fact that he connected with your dad after the breakup because your dad cheated on your mom and he cheated on you and that brought the men closer together is absolutely diabolical. Sorry, let me go back because who found that? Whoever found that, I owe you big time because I was really depressed leaving.
I've been through similar situations, and it's crazy because one of the people that I talked to through this whole situation that you would think would be anti-me for breaking her heart is her dad. Yeah. Like, and her dad got closer to me in the situation and really took me under his arms and was like, he was like, look.
He could have just ended it there. He literally could have, and there is no reason to explain anything any further than her dad, who I thought was going to be against me, took me under his wing. We got closer. He saw my heart. I saw his. We were good, and he advocated for me. The fact that you went the extra mile to say, yeah, girl, this family just have a bunch of cheating men. Diabolical.
I had a similar situation when I was with her mother. I cheated on her mother, and it was bad. And he told me how he overcame it, how he gave his life to God. And
all these men give their life to God after they cheated. Why do you think? Why do you think these men go to God first? Why do you think they get a church girl, even when they're out there doing all kind of debaucherous foolishness? And why do you think they go very specifically to God after they've been caught cheating? Why do you think they do that? Why do you think these men go to God after they've cheated? And it's very consistent. He did it. Her dad did it. Her dad is probably the one who told him to go to God, actually. All right.
And mind you, I'm looking at her dad, like I always look at her dad like a saint. Like they've been married for what, like 40, 30, 40 years?
Over 40
Over
years.
40 years they've been
See, she did it. You can too. Just ignore the cheating.
married. And so mind you, this happened earlier in their relationship. And so when I got to talking to her father and seeing how people really can change, they just have to decide that they want to change. And it's the issue with people is we're just going.
I'm sure her mom believed that the dad only cheated on her once too. I'm sure. Yeah, I gotta go. I got to go. I got to go. Because anyway.
We're not aware. And so the people that have actually changed their life for the better, they become aware of what they're doing. They change their habits, they change their patterns. And so as you start to talk to people and realize, like, you know, I was looking at myself like, damn, I'm a horrible person. Like, how could I break this girl's heart? Like, she's the only person that's ever been like so pure in my life. She's been amazing to me. How can I break her heart? And you start to get down on yourself. But when you get to that point, you're like, yo, I don't want to be like every other situation I look at. I don't want to be that dude that they're like, oh, he's the playboy type. He's the cheat, this and that. So you leave, and you know, for anything I do, I always try.
I can give him advice, I can talk to him, but Dawn's gonna change for Dawn. The passwords and everything, but and I think that it's normal to feel these feelings, but
Girl, I don't care. At somewhere else in this video, she said she manifested something or another. She manifested him cheating. And he was just there giggling like a child. So she is one of the manifesting girl is just in a chokehold, and she's also a Christian girl that just gonna use the Bible to forgive him whenever she wants, and he gonna use the Bible to make her forgive him, and the dad just gonna pressure her into forgiving him. So, and Tony Gaskin apparently is there telling her he's a good man. He just cheated once. Get over it. He's better now. So that's that on that. Have a great night. Hopefully you all learned something about forgiveness and grace tonight. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat and go to bed. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. I told someone that I was going to upload an outline for tomorrow. I can't. I'm too tired. Have a good one. Bye.